It's too late now. I remember you and me, and how careless we could be.
All day and all night, we'd stay up, it felt so right. We were so young, we were so dumb. We would get drunk and then hook up. We were okay, we were alright, staying awake till the sunrise. We were in love, couldn't stop us. Like a good drug, never enough.
We'd hook up in my car, drive it so far, play your guitar, you'd show me your art. Let down our guards, think with our hearts, stare at the stars. We were never apart, drinking too young, way too much fun. Out in the sun, hoping when it's gone. Took you to prom, dance to our song, dance all night long till the lights come on.
Now I remember everything, and how careless we could be, and how careless we could be, and how careless we could be. Nights, long fights, it felt right, we were alive. We would go out, we were so loud, we were so proud, we had no doubts. Weekends and weekdays, we'd spend our own way. We were careless, we were fearless, we were reckless, time was precious.
We loved to waste time, whiskey and wine, drinking all night, asleep by your side. Finally alive, we would just drive, never arrive. Our journey was live, staying out late, testing our fate, running away. We live for today, young and so bold, never get old. Screw what we're told, we can't be controlled.
Now I remember everything, and how careless we could be, and how careless we could be, and how careless we could be.
Welcome one and welcome all to the GCSL Paladins Qualifier Week number 1 broadcast. My name is TJ DJ and I'm joined by the Viking himself, Mr. Gage, over to, he's there, I believe, on the webcam. So here we go. Week number 1, we have a huge amount of games that's going to be broadcasted over the next coming weeks, but we all got to start somewhere with the Week 1 qualifiers. Gage, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling alright. I'm pretty hyped for the first set. I'm not going to lie. First set between FLM and ID. You know, I know ID. I know a few members from FLM. I think it's going to be a good set. It's going to be on Ice Mine, so interesting map to start it out with.
Yeah, we do have... going into that first game, just before we go into it, just want to do a little bit of housekeeping first of all. So if you're going to be watching in the stream, let us know in the chat who you're going to be supporting. Let us know your predictions. We want to see you guys talking. We want to see you guys having fun as well. If you haven't done it already, please go and follow the official Twitter of the GCSL. If I'm just going to go bring that one up. That is at Global CS League, where you could find all of the information on not only this Paladins League, but also all upcoming tournaments here as well. We also have our Discord server as well, so you can go and chat with all of us and the awesome community that we have gathered here for today's qualifiers. And I think that's going to cover it for the housekeeping. So, you know what, you guys are here to watch some Paladins. I think me and Gage are ready to watch, commentate our hearts out on 3 amazing sets for you. But first of all, as Gage said, it's ID versus FLM.
Yeah, looking forward to it. I think we're going to hop over into the draft here so we can take a look at what's going on.
Okay, perfect. So, game number 1, as Gage Viking said, is going to be on Ice Mines between the Infected Dragons and FLM. They're the first teams we've got lined up for today. Just going to be listing off the drafts that these 2 teams created. So for the Infected Dragons, we have the Zin, played by Bogan Totti, Khan by Licky Me, Dynamatrix on the Maldamba, Fitzu on the Anara, and Chair with the Tiberius pick as well to round out their draft. Over on the side of FLM,
we have Genos, played by... I'm not sure. I'm going to have to wait for a second. We've got Genos, Grover, Moji, Willow, and Ash. Genos by Laylee, Grover by Kartoffel Torte, Norik on the Moji, Avalon on Willow, and Fantash Mine on the Ash. Quick note for you, actually. This is the first time Moji has been picked in a GCSL tournament, including SEA. And honestly, did you know Moji can turn people into biscuits? And I think that's going to be the turning point for this game.
I did not know that, Gage. Can you just run that by me again? Did you say that Moji can turn people into biscuits? I think that is insane.
Yeah, now. This happens to be your ultimate. I think we're going to be hopping into the game here in a second. Now we've seen the draft.
But let's just talk about the draft a little bit more, just as we're starting to get things set up in the backline. So on Ice Mines, again, this is not only my favorite map, but it's definitely an interesting one in terms of how the game actually pans out. It seems to have 3 very different phases to fight around the point, where it's quite close quarters, and then you go out into the long shots of the valley and through the mines themselves before reaching that final point here. And we do have the completed drafts as well. So which team do you think is going to have the more favorable draft here, Gage?
Well, honestly, I like FLM's draft. I mean, by their name, they're kind of avoiding the meta. Although 2 supports is kind of coming a bit into the meta. We'd normally see 2 supports with maybe 2 tanks, although they do only have the Ash. They've got very good ultimates for the point fight, Moji with the Execute and Ash with the Assert Dominance. I think they can win the point fight every time, and that's at the end of the day how you win the game. Even if they don't win the pushes, if they cap it every time, then they're going to win the game. So I'm kind of leaning towards FLM's draft here, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it does feel as well that FLM really want to win the initial team fight and then push up straight away, because Ice Mines not only is the map with the longest distance between the spawn and the point itself, so really good for zoning. Just looking at the picks that they've got here, so the Moji and the Willow, of course, they do have a bit of mobility. Ash as well, able to push up straight away. So it feels like if they win this initial team fight, they're able to completely zone out ID for however long that they want it until that point is captured and completely mitigating the close quarters fights. But of course, that does rely on them actually winning that initial fight. It seems to me that this comp isn't that good, or not as good as the FLM draft for the ID draft for retaking the point should they lose it.
Yeah, I mean, Tiberius's ultimate's got very good mobility, so I mean, the chances of them touching the point while slim, they can do it because Tiberius can cover like probably half the map with his ultimate, so they can touch, but the fact that the rest of his team might not get there is kind of, yeah, like I said, I'm leaning towards the FLM draft. I think they're going to take this game one, but we will have to see.
Okay, so we have our predictions here. We're just going to start loading into game very quickly. So just some final thoughts. Gage has already given his opinion here on the FLM to take this first game on Ice Mines. And, so again, it's the first game. It's the inaugural match of the GCSL Paladins Qualifier Week 1 broadcast here. Of course, it's the first set of 3 that we're going to be broadcasting for today's game. So we're going to stick around for a lot longer than this one. Ice Mines is going to be coming up. Just seeing how we're looking in the background.
Yeah, we're just getting the all synced up and stuff here for the stream.
Yeah.
So should be a couple of seconds until we start.
Okay. Looks like we're going to be loading into that game. Yep, there we go. Apologies, just a little bit of syncing up on our end. But of course, as these weeks go on, we're going to be doing that a lot smoother and a lot better than what we just did. So into the maps, of course, going to have a look at the legendaries. And we also, talents rather. And we do have a game pause by Fitzu. So we do actually get to have a look here. Nothing particularly standing out by the looks of things, Gage. I've seen the Luminary on the Genos. It's Deep Roots on the Grover as well. The Smolder on the Zin. So not really much standing out here.
Yeah, Deep Roots on the Grover's definitely come into the meta. He's a very good support this patch. But in the initial point fight, we want to see where everyone's going. And Nara's going to go to the point, I assume, and she's going to be able to sit there and probably just out-sustain the other team. Although, we'll have to find out.
Yeah, the Inara is going to have a lot of pressure here on that point as long as she's not able to be moved off it. One of the hardest tanks to shift off. Ashe is inside the dog. They have managed to get the Inara away from the point and started to back off here. The AoE damage coming through from the Moji has got this Inara completely retreating back to full health, so maybe an opportunity to recap it. But here's the thing, Red Team did a really great job here of pushing out the Inara, but they've not only just moved on to the point, and first blood has gone the way of FLM with Avalon on that Willow, make that a double kill, the Khan falling as well, Inara gone down as well. It's just an absolute disaster, and here comes the FLM zone.
Yeah, they've been pushed straight back here. They've got nice zoning tools. They're not actually going as far up as they could, but I kind of like that they're playing. The Moji's going in, but she's got very good ability to escape. They're just making sure they don't get to the point. They didn't really have a chance there. It was a nice zone. They're going to be able to get the car maybe to halfway, kind of for free, if they don't get any picks going here from the blue team.
Yeah, so we're coming up here to the longer sight lines of Ice Mines here. Moji getting a lot of damage onto that Khan. Trying to back away here, but of course Moji is going to be ultimately fine. Has got the mobility, has got the shield. Willow pushing up as well. We haven't really talked about the Willow that much, I feel, Gage. Willow into the Inara. Inara wants to stand still, but of course just drop the dead zone down onto her and just remove the healing from the game as 2 kills go to favor of FLM here. Yeah,
that's true. They do have kind of a counter to the Inara just sat on the point with the Willow, because you can't get any heals if she is in that dead zone. Although the dead zone can't be up permanently, so I mean, if it's a sustained fight, then I still feel like the Inara can just overcap it, and if they don't focus the Inara, then they're just kind of the point's going to tick over, and they'll cap the point without Red Team even realizing. But
yeah, it does feel. Yeah, the zone is fantastic here. 1 minute 25 seconds left on the timer. They've already pushed well over 90% here as well, and just how powerful it is. ID have had to wait to get all 5 members back. It's a really nice stagger coming through from FLM. Dread Serpent going to be committed on towards the point. They have taken down the Moji. So this is going to be a 4 versus 4. Of course, Tiberius will be back in the fight a lot sooner than the Moji. But hello, what's going on here? We have a complete push. Looks like ID left the point and have just gifted a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, I'm guessing what happened there is there was maybe some dead zone on the point, and I'll maybe going low. She had to step behind those icicles behind. Can't actually contest from there, and they just kind of roll it through. Again, not really too sure that will happen. Maybe a bit of a communication mishap. There's actually only 1 pick on the side of ID. So that's something that's going to need to change if they want to win this point fight. And that was the Moji that died just before they pushed in. If we take a look at the net worth here, as you would expect, is kind of a good 300 credits lead on the red team, probably from the capture and just the fact that none of them have died. There's been no picks.
Yeah.
Into the next point fight, though. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I was going to say, and in this fight, just remember, Gage, there is an opportunity of someone being turned into a biscuit. I don't know if you're going to be aware of that one, but as I said, 4 ultimates, and the Willow is going to be in the Faith Light. So relatively soon, you can charge your very quickly with the AoE. And Nara going very deep into the backline has committed that Earthen Crash, but there's no one to follow up, and Inara just crumbles. The rest of ID are now on the stage, trying to find a way into this point. Khan is going to be held up, has to command and scrub away to safety, but it's gone down. Great shot by Avalon's Willow. Trade kill onto the Grover, taking down one of the supports, but ultimately it seems that it's all blue team in control here, FLM, as the Maldamba falls well. There goes Tiberius, and once again, it's exactly what happened in the first time. One pick, one snowball, and the dominoes just cascade down against ID.
Yeah, it was a pretty messy point fight, to be honest. The Inara going down already, so it's just not really even an opportunity for blue team to get to the point. So this is going to be another capture, maybe not another push, but it was a very messy fight. People just died in kind of places where they weren't really supposed to be. Inara kind of without any backup. So that kind of needs to change in the next game and the rest of this game if you want to see them actually mount a better defense.
Yeah, the seismic crash is such a huge team fighting ultimate, and especially on a map like Ice Mines, where a lot of it does come down to whoever wins that initial engage. The team just has to follow up and be ready. Moji causing so much havoc here. It's able to take down Chair on the Tiberius. Healed up by the Grover. Khan as well, taking high ground control. But look at that, his health bar is just gone. You can see the marks being procced by Norik on this Moji, getting kill after kill. Boyan Totti Zin not going to survive. Dynamatrix falling as well on the Maldamba. Licky me, I don't know what you can do here, buddy, but this game feels like it has completely run away from ID. FLM are just completely stomping this.
Yeah, they are pretty staggered here, and the point's so close. Like, the Inara, she's kind of being bullied away from the point, so she's not even contesting it, although the damage immunity from the Tiberius kind of on it a bit, allowing the Inara to get back. Zin with a nice pick, but Inara going down, they don't get anyone else on the objective. Committing the assert dominance there, so the Khan would have been stunned even if he went for it, and FLM just kind of walking away with that game, to be honest.
Well, that's how we start Ice Mines off, a complete domination by the hands of FLM. Very well played to them as well. And, this is something we spoke about in the draft as well. What happens when FLM get those initial picks and are able to just completely roll through the fight? It didn't feel like ID were ever actually able to, get that 5v5 they were looking for, or even just deal with the flank pressure from that Moji.
Yeah, it felt like a bit of a kind of, like a not very coordinated game. Maybe they hadn't had a warm-up. Maybe, I'm not sure what was going on in that game, but they just kind of got rolled over. They didn't have any time to mount a defense. Like you said, they didn't win any of the point fights. Their ultimates weren't followed up on, and it was just maybe a bit of a lack of communication. Maybe, I don't know, one of them's got a sore throat and you can't talk anymore. I don't know. But just kind of run away with by FLM.
Yeah, I think the important thing here for the Infected Dragons is they just need to reset after that one. Ice Mines, I think this is a thing that I like to say in my ranked games, when I get absolutely stomped, at least it was over quickly. You get out of the game, you get to mentally reset, and you go into game number 2. Of course, remember that all games in the qualifiers are best of 3, so you're able to take that first loss, but of course it's going to be an uphill battle. FLM, on the other hand, are going to be feeling really good about that one. Complete domination.
Yeah, they're going to be feeling good going into the next game. If you take a look at the stats board here, I'm not actually sure how many people died on the side of ID. I know there was only one death at the second point fight. And I know that Zin got at least another kill. I think a few more people died at the end, but it was very minimal kill. So FLM are going to be going into the next game thinking, wow, we just won that one. We just completely destroyed ID. They didn't really get a chance. They're going to be thinking, we've got this. We've already won. But I think ID still have a chance if they have a nice draft in the next game. If they really kind of knuckle down and get their heads in it, they do have a chance. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, of course, it is also the magic of the best of 3 as well, and just, as we said, just being able to mentally reset. But of course, here you're looking at the kills, Avalon and Norik on their respective picks, the Willow and the Moji, too much to handle. Grover only a single death as well, so able to just, be relatively uncontested. And, ID never really found that dive. They never really found the Tiberius pick on the backline or Bojan Totti Zin finding someone with the ultimate Eva. It just didn't seem to click, But anyway, this is Ice Mines. It's best of one. It's only game one, so I think a lot of lessons to learn here for the Infected Dragons, but they do have another chance going into game two.
Yeah, going into game two here, it is going to be Ascension Peak, a bit of a strange map. We haven't seen it too much, but we're going to go into the draft and see what's been picked. Maybe ID will have a bit of a better chance. Ascension Peak's a very kind of overall map. It's a little bit snowbally, but there are a lot of choke points. There's a good opportunity for them to mount a proper defense.
Yeah, and it also feels like this is not a map where if one team gets ahead by a very clear margin, they can't just simply roll out the map. It's a lot more small and a lot more narrow. We go into the team lineup. So the Infected Dragons draft themselves Strix, the Khan, Ying, a Terminus, and a Bomb King, which are able to get their hands on. So a few more power picks. Interesting to note that the Terminus and the Bomb King was banned away in game number one.
Yeah, I do think that's more map dependent. This map isn't amazing for BK, but we do actually see the draft for FLM here. Laylee on the Furia, Kartoffel on the Ashe again, Norik on Maeve, Avalon on Eevee, and a Fantastic Mind on a Ruckus. So going back into more of a kind of, let's say, traditional composition with one healer, two tanks. Two flanks, but flank and DPS are kind of flexible. They can kind of be each and in between their own,
Yeah, and I think, the target number one priority when you look at FLM's draft is they're going to be using the Maeve and the Eevee to get into the Strix. The Buck, that was a little bit of a mistake here on the draft. There is going to be a Buck for the Infected Dragons for this team. But it's going to be, a bit of a flank battle between the Buck and holding off both the Maeve and the Eevee. And again, high risk, high reward champions that FLM have drafted. If they get ahead, once again, it's going to feel very much like game number one as soon as they get those first picks. And of course, never let the Infected Dragons actually set up. Strix needs to free fire. They need to set up on that point. Terminus and the BK need to actually be able to get the damage down. But if they're constantly having to waft away a Maeve or an Eevee like a Wasp at your summer picnic, then that's just going to be a real stinger in their side.
Yeah, I think the reason we saw the BK and the Term go through on this map is more that on Ice Mines, Term is incredibly strong. It's one of BK's best maps. Ascension Peak is not one of BK's best maps. Obviously, BK is still going to be a very powerful pick, but it's not one of his best maps, so there is definitely ways to kind of counterplay him on this map. So yeah, that's the reason they were let through. And yeah, as we see on ID's side, it was actually the Buck instead of the Khan. That was a bit of an error with the draft there. We did pick up on earlier, but so a little bit different. ID going with a bit less traditional with, still one healer, even though we have seen double supports kind of come back into the meta a little bit.
Yeah, so again, I think, Ascension Peak, it's a much more different map to Ice Mines, where it's a lot less dominant on the initial point fight. As it's a lot more open, a lot shorter between spawn and the point itself. But this is what we're going to look for. Of course, this is a chance for the Infected Dragons to pull one back against FLM and even up the scores and take us to a game number 3. Should they take victory here. But of course, FLM are looking pretty good after Ice Mines. They want to keep this momentum going. As we're just syncing up in the background, we will be loading into game very shortly here. Just want to also let you know the bans for this game as well. So Grover and Khan were removed by FLM, and also the Io and Genos taken away. I don't think we're going to be seeing much Io played at all in this opening week. Has a very heavy ban priority against across multiple platforms. And of course, the Genos taken away as well. Deny that Luminate as well.
Yeah, we're having a bit of a sync-up issue here. It's going to be a little bit longer than thought, but yeah, I do think ID, maybe coming back into this game with a bit of a fresh mentality. Maybe they've had a warm-up game now if they didn't warm up before. I assume they would have done, in this tournament. It is a tournament, They have other weeks to qualify as well if they don't necessarily qualify this week, which is yet to see. Well,
yeah, there's definitely
this up again in 1 second.
It's all good, man. Yeah, there's definitely opportunity for the Infected Dragons, and they're not a new team on the block as well. The Infected Dragons are a team that I myself have casted multiple times over during casting Paladins as well, bringing back to ESL, the MLL, and also it's not the Infected Dragons' first time here in the GCSL League either. They were participating in the SEA League as well. So, of course, the Infected Dragons, bit of the home team, a lot of support for them as well. I've had some really good chats with Bo and Totti. So, again, this is a team that aren't new. They're definitely going to have an opportunity here to just reset a bit of leadership behind them as well and get them back on even footing for this next game. Okay, it looks like the sync up. We're still trying to get that one going, guys.
Yeah, a little bit of an issue here. Okay, we're just going to unpause right now, and it should be good. I think maybe we will see. Maybe not. Okay, right. Well, a few more seconds, and we should be.
Fine. It's only week one.
Yeah, I've paused now. No, I haven't.
Okay, I think we are good to go. I think the sync up has been complete. Okay, it looks like we are going to be heading off into game here. Game number 2 between FLM and the Infected Dragons. It is going to be on Ascension Peak, looking at these teams here. And I believe we might have a bit of a sync-up issue again, boys.
Wonderful. Definitely not a good start. Yes, we unfortunately do. Yeah, we will switch over to a pause 1 second. It's a bit hard to get everything, synced up. This is the first week. We do expect a few hiccups. We will be back in approximately not very long.
We could play blank, blank, 182. Lay around the house and daydream till the afternoon. Thinking about the times that we had when this was all that we knew. When this song was still new, when this all was still new. We could play blank, blank, 182. Summertime nights that we had, staring at the moon. Laughing at our own jokes, acting like they were new. We'd only watch cartoons, but love and life was our tune. Oh, that we can never go back to this. And as we grow, we'll look back and miss our life. Cause we'll leave this time, we'll leave this home, and find lives of our very own. But we can play blank, blank, 182. We can play blank, blank, 182. We could play blank, blank, 182. Summertime nights that we had, staring at the moon. Laughing at our own jokes, acting like they were new. We'd only watch.
Awesome. In theory, the sync-up issue should be now fixed. Sorry, just a little bit of issues here and there. Should have it all cleared up by the end of the stream and next week at the very absolute latest. Going into this game, though...
It's the week 1 blues. It's all good. Okay, so just going over to the teams. So on blue side, we do have FLM, and on the red side is going to be the Infected Dragons, who, of course, once again, are looking to tie the score in this best of 3 here on Ascension Peak. Both teams leaving the spawn. Trying to think where this point fight is going to be decided. Looks to be towards the stage. Rucker's getting very aggressive early on. Strix immediately is taken out here. Has to retreat. So there's Kartoffel on the Ash, already finding himself a double kill, taking down both Ying and the Bomb King. And this is just the floodgates are opening. Double kill for Avalon's Eevee. A delayed team wipe to start off this map.
Yeah, a very delayed team wipe, and that's kind of team wipe. Apologies, and that's kind of very good for FLM right here because now they're going to be able to push right into ID spawn and stop them actually getting towards the objective. Although Book does get a nice pick, so maybe they do still have a chance of getting it. It's only on 66%, so looking nice. Ash might go down here as well, so well, not quite. Book goes down, but they do definitely get a touch, which is nice.
Yeah, there is a touch, but of course, remember, this is going to be a 4 versus 5 situation, and you look around the objective, it's just FLM completely in control of the area. There is a pick, made that to BK and the Terminus. Once again, removed from this point fight, the overtime ticking from that initial touch is going to be a objective captured for FLM as they start to bring up this offense here. You can see a few streaks as well on the Ruckus, the Furia, and the Ash. And looks like Infected Dragons are able to get a regroup here as well.
Yeah, that's nice. They are actually regrouping, and so they can mount a proper defense. Unlike the Ice Mines game, they are getting staggered out quite a bit. It's a very kind of confusing game because 4 of the picks on ID, they're going to have to play kind of close together on that right side. But the Strix, you know, he's kind of long range. You want to kind of sit back and free fire, but he can't really do that with the amount of dive. And as we're talking here, Strix getting a pick onto the Mage, but trading onto the BK. Strix is going to go down here as well. Maybe. No,
he just gets a spawn, yeah. But here's the thing.
Right,
FLM able to completely push up into the spawn of the Infected Dragons. There is a pick onto the Eevee. So the ID may be able to get out of the spawn, actually maybe able to get something out of it. Norik lurking around in the backline as well, looking for an opportunity. Going to dash over. Carter's already gone down for the red for blue team, so it's only the Ruckus left for that point pressure. And I think this might just be a bit of a breathing room for once ID are able to actually push away FLM and are able to get a bit of a foothold in this defense.
Yeah, the Strix takes some nice shots there. If the Strix keeps doing that onto the Eevee, you can actually one-shot her with a headshot, so she might want to look into some Haven. They're committing Mave Ultimate, which is really quite nice, because Strix can't really pressure with a Mave Ult down, and it just allowed them to like walk into the backline and press them back into their spawn. Get a nice pick onto the Terminus, so they've got no point pressure. Contesting still, like 99% of the payload being pushed in, but I'm fairly certain it's going to go in. The Strix just kind of surviving invisible on the point here, but...
You will buy time, but I think this is you look at the ultimates. Infected Dragons not willing to commit any ultimates to that defense. You know, they want to go into this second point fight with everything available. The Reanimate's going to come off cooldown. We have the King Bomb, the Buck Wilds, the Temporary Rift, and also the Flashbang as well. But of course, FLM definitely have some game-changing ultimates themselves. I'm looking at the In Flames, the Hexafire, and that Assert Dominance as well.
Yeah, there's the Ruckus ultimate can be combined with an Assert Dominance, with the Eevee's Snow Globe, not Snow Globe, that's a legendary card, sorry, with the Eevee ultimate, Ice Storm, or the Maeve's Midnight. And the Ruckus ultimate can be deadly in any of them. And 2 of those are up right now, so I would love to see a nice combination from one of them here. We'll see what happens. Maybe the ID might try and switch up their thing here. They look like they're going over to the left. No, still going over to the right side, just kind of hoping for a change of plan.
Yeah, Buck Wild is going to go straight up into the backline. Already a pick onto the Ash. A much better start for ID. Ruckus taken to half HP. King Bomb committed as well. Maeve not going to stand a chance against His Majesty. Hexafire from around a corner. We'll get a pick onto Boyan Totti's Strix. But straight away, Infected Dragons find the fight they were looking for. Ice Storm goes wide. Not going to find much. 85%, 89% as they move towards the point here. Even if Infected Dragons lose the Terminus, they've already done so much on this point as well.
Yeah, it seems like they did. They got to 90%, committing their ultimates first, which is a good idea because they do have comeback mechanic, 4% a tick instead of 2. Although for somehow, it does look like FLM have actually managed to come out on top. I'm not really sure how that happened. Maybe they just got the picks back when they needed to, but it's going to be quite hard for them to get back to the point here. Terminus is kind of not really in a healthy position. It doesn't really look like he can really touch here. He goes down. He has reanimate, but the game caused it by chair.
Okay, so I think we can catch a breather.
Yeah.
Right now.
I did want to talk about how kind of awkward a draft this is for the Strix, because the BK, the Buck, the Ying, and the Terminus, they kind of all want to kind of hang around on the right side. Like, because that's where BK excels, that's where Buck excels. He's got a shotgun, obviously. Game on proposing here, but the Strix, he just kind of wants to sit in the back. They do manage to get a touch. Although 2 picks go in the way, 3 picks, 4 picks go in the way of FLM. Kind of looking
this is FLM able to completely set up in ID territory and find 3 kills. Avalon once again finding 2 picks on his Eevee, taking this to 3-0. Such a great start to this point fight as well for ID, but again, just FLM with their composition of picks and finding the outplays really starting to control here. The point's going to keep moving. This is a very early spawn camp for FLM to set up. And, you know, if you're more than happy to just sit on a cart, maybe read a newspaper, you know, might have a drink. Let's keep it pushing.
Yeah, good pick onto the Terminus. They're actually Ash committing ultimate up onto the spawn. BK the nice poppy bomb to get her off though. That was a nice play, some good counterplay, but Buck might go down here on the right. He's kind of getting converged on. They're just kind of getting staggered over and over here. Terminus has just come back, and now 11-second stagger on the Buck. So the payload's kind of coming close in, so Buck can get back in time. There is enough room for him to do that, but it's not really looking nice here for ID. There are a lot of credits down. We'll see what happens. See if BK can deal out enough damage to maybe take out some Ruckus or a nice shot from the Strix.
I mean, we're looking towards Totti on the Strix to find that initial pick, but a Hexafire is going to shut that one down. Eevee on a rampage, falling apart at the seams. Very well played by FLM. They take the set 2-0 over the Infected Dragons and will advance on into the tournament as it was played yesterday. So, again, fantastic play by FLM, really utilizing their composition and also the mechanical outplays as well. Absolutely fantastic. Looks like we have a
bit of a webcam issue here. It will be fixed in a second, but it's a very nice, clean kind of 2-0. Going over to the scoreboard here, it was a very nice, clean 2-0 from FLM. You could tell they wanted to win this. Dub just leaking some of our DMs. It's fine, nothing important, no stream keys in there. You won't find anything. Looking at the scoreboard here, they did actually manage to get some more picks, I think, than last game. Bojan Totti, actually, he went positive. A good 53,000 damage. It was actually the highest damage in the game, but it just wasn't really enough. Everyone seemed to die before the Strix could kind of get what he wanted to get.
Yeah, it is rather unfortunate as well. And, you know, I think FLM running this very high risk, high reward composition with the Eevee and the Maeve as well, because the Ash and Ruckus, you know, if you can push them back, if you can remove the flank pressure, Ash and Ruckus aren't really that effective when in comparisons with a Terminus in terms of being on the point and staying alive, especially with a Ying pocketing that Terminus as well. You know, that would have been the ideal combination for them to have. But again, we just look at here, Avalon going for 10 kills, Norik on the Maeve getting 6 as well, doing things that flanks do best, ultimately.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised the Strix actually did that well, because I know I said it wasn't BK's best map, but over on the right side of the point, that is where he kind of excels. He excels in there and the little alleyway up just like halfway through the point push. And like I was saying before I was interrupted twice, the Buck and the BK and the Ying and the Term all kind of want to be together. And the Strix kind of has to go with them because I've got a Maeve, Ruckus, Ash, and Maeve on the other team. They're going to want to dive the Strix as much as possible. So he has to be with his team. But Strix also kind of excels when he's just sat back, kind of free, not when he's in the middle of the action. You know, that Zoom FOV that was changed a few patches ago, it is quite extreme.
Yeah, and I think as well, just the damage that Strix can put out. We did see, you know, pick onto Norik's Maeve, I think, after that initial, after the first push and on the defense, you know, Maeve just vanished when Strix was able to hit the shot. And also, you know, to pick onto Kartoff El Tort over on that second point fight as well to give ID 89% on the initial capture. So, you know, it was definitely there. The potential was there, but they just got completely, steamrolled, for a better word, by this composition.
Yeah. Hopefully we can see them next week. I assume they are going to come back next week. We do know them quite well.
Absolutely.
Totti is actually an admin for the Discord, so I assume his team's going to come back next week. I'd love to see him come back maybe with a fresh mind, not after they've just been steamrolled 4-0 on Ice Mines. You know, that is a pretty tough kind of mentality blow to their team. You know, you're not going to be playing to your best after you've just been 4-0'd on Ice Mines. Ice Mines is a pretty hard map to actually convert the payload through. So next week, hopefully, they will make it a little bit further than what they did this week. Yet to see, though.
Absolutely. Of course, remember, there are multiple weeks for the qualifiers as well. The winner of each qualification week locks in a place in our closed league format here at the GCSL. But of course, we're going to be announcing the winner of that much later on. So that is going to wrap it up for the very first sets here between the Infected Dragons and FLM. I believe we will be going to a very short break just to give us casters a bit of a chance to catch our breath. And we look forward to the second sets, which we can announce is
the EU versus Stush.
Stush GG, my boys. This is going to be a really interesting one to watch. So, yeah, thank you for bearing with us through some of the issues.
Awesome.
Okay, it looks like we're
You two
on.
lay around the house and daydream till the afternoon, thinking about the times that we had when this was all that we knew, when this song was still new, when this all was still new. We could play blank blank 182 summertime nights that we had, staring at the moon, laughing at our own jokes, acting like they were new. We'd only watch cartoons, but love and life is our tune. Oh oh, that we can never go back to this. And as we grow, we'll look back and miss our life. 'Cause we'll leave this time, we'll leave this home, and find lives of our very own. When we can play blank, blank 182. When we can play blank, blank 182. We could play blank, blank 182 summertime nights that we had, staring at the moon, laughing at our own jokes, acting like they were new. We'd only watch cartoons, but love and life is our tune.
We could play blink, blink, 182. Drive around our cars and pretend that we never grew. Sneak out of the house every night. We were young and confused. We never made curfew. There was too much to do. We could play blink, blink, 182. Chasing all our drinks with Red Bull and Mountain Dew. Hangover so bad we would sleep until the morning was through. Yet start again 'cause we knew that there was nothing to lose.
That we can never go back to this. And as we grow, we'll look back and miss our life. 'Cause we'll leave this time, we'll leave this home, and find lives of our very own. But we can play blank, blank 182. But we can play blank, blank 182. We could play blank, blank 182 summertime nights that we had, staring at the moon, laughing at our own jokes, acting like they were new. We'd only watch cartoons, but love and life was our tune. We could play blank, blank 182, lay around the house and daydream till the afternoon, thinking about the times that we had when this was all that we knew, when this song was still new, when this all was still new. We could play blank, blank 182 summertime nights that we had, staring at the moon, laughing at our own jokes, acting like they were new. We'd only watch cartoons, but love and life is our tune. That we can never go back to this. And as we grow, we'll look back and miss our life. 'Cause we'll leave this time, we'll leave this home, and find lives of our very own. When we can play blank, blank 182. When we can play blank, blank 182. We could play blank, blank 182 summertime nights that we had, staring at the moon, laughing at our own jokes, acting like they were new. We'd only watch cartoons, but love and life is our tune.
We could play blink, blink, 182. Drive around our cars and pretend that we never grew. Sneak out of the house every night. We were young and confused. We never made curfew. There was too much to do. We could play blink, blink, 182. Chasing all our drinks with Red Bull and Mountain Dew. Hangover so bad we would sleep until the morning was through. Yet start again 'cause we knew that there was nothing to lose.
That we can never go back to this. And as we grow, Summertime nights that we had, staring at the moon, laughing at our own jokes, acting like they would know. We'd only watch cartoons, but loving life was our tune. We could play blank, blank 182, lay around the house and daydream till the afternoon, thinking about the times that we had when this was all that we knew, when this song was still new, when this all was still new. We could play blank, blank 182, summertime nights that we had, staring at the moon, laughing at our own jokes, acting like they were new. We'd only watch cartoons, but loving life was our tune.
And welcome back to the GCSL Week 1 broadcast for the qualifiers. So thank you so much for bearing with us. A few technical issues on our end to resolve. As you can see here, we have Gage the Viking is back with us, and not just his DMs. So it's always a great thing to see here. So, of course, we have our second set. So it feels like the first set that we witnessed, the Infected Dragons versus FLM, was very much a blink and you'll miss it sort of game, but we have here the Worst Flanks EU versus Dust GG. And before we go into draft, let's sort of preview this upcoming game as well. What are you expecting here, Gage?
Well, we have been generously donated some of Stush GG's scrim practice. I'm not going to disclose anything, important, but we have been allowed to spectate them to practice cast. So I'm expecting to see, what we have seen in their scrims is a little bit of uncommon drafts, I would say. So
yeah, a bit of variety.
I'm expecting to see something that you wouldn't normally expect. Maybe like, I don't know, I would say Moji, but we have actually seen Moji today, and Moji's in a pretty good spot right now, so I'm not sure. I'm expecting to see something different, is what I'll say.
Yeah, by different, I think we want to talk about more compositions and sort of team lineups as well. And also just from that first set as well, we've seen just a number of compositions as well. It's not just this what has been a very standard duo tank, single support, then you have your DPS, and then a more aggressive flank DPS on top of that. We've seen some of the single tank being brought out here, more dive, more aggression, and also the sit back and sustain comps as well. So really looking forward to seeing some of them as you go into this next set. So I believe we are ready for the drafts. If we can bring them up here. So game number 1 is going to be on Fish Market. We do apologize. There is a mistake in the overlay for this one. Game 1 is going to be on Fish Market. As you can see here, it's a very nice logo. It's also Stush GG, my boys. So I won't be calling a prediction for this one here. Going to be leaving that one over to Gage. We look at the team rosters for this first one. So for Worst Flanks EU, we have the OG playing Rom, we have Antares on the Genos, Rakan playing the Talus, Tribac on the Furia, and also Sylvie playing the Vivian. I apologize if I butchered a few pronunciations there, but we'll get it.
Yeah, the bans for Worst Flanks EU are BK and IO. Pretty standard bans, I would say. On Stush GG side, you see Kyra on the Victor, Trex was taken on the Grover, Workman on Inara, Doomblood on the Ying, and Kanzi on the Strix. Victor and Strix, 2 pretty good picks, I would say, right now. In this meta, they are very good. They dish out lots of damage. Strix has been pretty good ever since he came out. A sniper being able to be invisible is pretty strong, no matter how you look at it. And Victor, his lifesteal is pretty insane.
And we normally see as well the Victor when he's actually able to just completely free fire onto a backline. It's not uncommon to see Victor wrap up an inhuman amount of damage when he's actually able to get those headshots, especially if you're running a burst fire talent as well. So, a few options here. We are on Fish Market, so we're going to talk about these compositions in regards to the map pick as well. And I think, Gage, this is more your speciality here. So I think we were talking about this before whilst we were doing a bit of prep and we were setting everything up here, is that this is a game of one composition being a lot more, in air quotes, easier to pilot versus a very high-risk composition on the other hand for Worst Flanks EU.
Yeah, Rom's in a very weird place right now. He's he's very strong if there's nothing to counter him. There's a lot of counters for Rom, and Victor kind of being one of them because, like we said, he's not really a counter, but the amount of damage he does, he can just melt Rom's HP bar. And that combined with the Grover to stop his dash, they're going to be able to shut him down quite easily. And if they can't, and if Worst Flank to you can't like kill everyone before the Rom dies, then it's going to be kind of quite a hard, engage for them to win.
Yeah, it feels like, a lot is hinging on that Raum's ability to survive. And he is a tanky boy. Let's not beat around the bush here, able to just seemingly regenerate his entire health bar back, it feels like, when you play against a good Raum who's able to manage his cooldowns. So hopefully the Raum's going to buy enough time. And also you're going to see him using just the linebacker tackle as well, able to run straight into the back line, disperse everyone, completely unseat the Strix and the Victor from their lofty perches as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to load into the game in a second. We're just trying to get everything sorted out. Maybe not have as many issues as we were having before. Although SushGG do have the double healer comp, and a lot of damage. So they've got a lot of sustain and a lot of burst damage. Strix and Victor, they're going to be dealing a lot of damage. Vivian's really good on Worst Flank to you side, and Talus combined with the Genos, I'm not actually too sure who I see winning this game. I think it kind of depends on the Raum's play and if Stush can actually counter effectively.
Yeah, if that Raum, as I said, if that Raum is able to just stick around and survive way too long, then it's just going to be a lot of trouble for that StushGG. I do prefer the StushGG's draft objectively, as I say, it's a lot more easier to pilot. And it also feels like, if that initial fight doesn't go their way, the retake potential is a lot better. And also as the fights are a lot more drawn out, able to deal with the flanks, then that Talus as well, remember, because he's got to put the mark down. He's only got 5-6 seconds to do his damage, and then he's just zipped straight back out the fight straight away. Very hit and run, very whack-a-mole style of play. So Talus needs to find those picks. Whereas the Victor and the Strix, they can just sit back, pump out the damage. As soon as they see Raum, go straight for the Raum. Very, very simple in that regard as well. So it's going to be a very interesting one to watch, I believe, here, Gage.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We are just trying to sync it up a little bit here. Columns going back and forth. It's expected, really,
Yeah, but we'll get all of the issues out of the way for week 1, and then it's going to be plain sailing from here. We hope. We hope.
Okay, awesome. A little bit of an extended talk about the draft here as we try and figure out some problems. I'm sorry, we are kind of rambling on about the draft. There is only so much we can say.
Yeah, also, a bit of a unsung hero, the Puppet Master. You can see that it's his Derp who is handling all our production as well. He is in our ears. He is the ruler of this entire stream here. So we're kind of waiting on his go for us to jump into game. I think we're almost ready as well.
Okay, well, a little bit of issues here again. There was a game pause, and it's kind of interrupted our kind of syncing up here. Unfortunately, pauses were supposed to actually be, talked about. They were supposed to be mentioned to the admins. There was an unexpected pause here that has kind of ruined it a little bit. Hopefully, we can get all the rules ironed out with the teams for next week, so we don't have little issues like this that we can't really avoid.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Now I'm so ready for this game.
Yeah.
I hope you guys in chat as well are looking forward to this game as well. Let us know as well. Who do you think this game is going to go? Is it going to be StushGG or the Worst Flank CU? Who's going to be taking this one on Fish Market? I'm trying my best to keep them busy, guys. Okay, I think we are going to go to pause music as we just resolved this sync issue. So we'll be right back with the game before you even know it. We'll see you on the other side.
Yeah.
We could play blank, blank, 182. Lay around the house and daydream till the afternoon. Thinking about the times that we had when this was all that we knew. When this song was still new, when this all was still new. We could play blank, blank, 182. Summertime nights that we had, staring at the moon. Laughing at our own jokes, acting like they were new. We'd only watch cartoons, but love and life was our tune. Oh, that we can never go back to this. And as we grow, we'll look back and miss our life. Cause we'll leave this time, we'll leave this home, and find lives of our very own. But we can play blank, blank, 182. We can play blank, blank, 182. We could play blank, blank, 182. Summertime nights that we had, staring at the moon. Laughing at our own jokes, acting like they were new. We'd only watch cartoons, but love and life is our tune.
We could play blink, blink, 182. Drive around our cars and pretend that we never grew. Sneak out of the house every night. We were young and confused. We never made curfew. There was too much to do. We could play blink, blink, 182. Chasing all our dreams with Red Bull and Mountain Dew. Hangover so bad we would sleep until...
Not unpause. I'm paused. I'm not 26, 25, 24.
We could play blank, blank, 182. Lay around the house and daydream till the afternoon. Thinking about the times that we had when this was all that we knew. When this song was still new, when this all was still new. We could play blank, blank, 182. Summertime nights that we had, staring at the moon. Laughing at our own jokes, acting like they were new. We'd only watch cartoons, but love and life is our tune. That we can never go back to this. And as we grow, we'll look back and miss our life. Cause we'll leave this time, we'll leave this home, and find lives of our very own. But we can play blank, blank, 182. We can play blank, blank, 182. We could play blank, blank, 182. Summertime nights that we had, staring at the moon. Laughing at our own jokes, acting like they were new. We'd only watch cartoons, but love and life is our tune.
We could play blink, blink, 182. Drive around our cars and pretend that we never grew. Sneak out of the house every night. We were young and confused. We never made curfew. There was too much to do. We could play blink, blink, 182. Chasing all our dreams with Red Bull and Mountain Dew. Hangover so bad we would sleep until the morning was through. Yet start again cause we knew that there was nothing to lose.
That we can never go back to this. And as we grow, we'll look back and miss our life. Cause we'll leave this time, we'll leave this home, and find lives of our very own. But we can play blank, blank, 182. We can play blank, could play blank, blank 182. Lay around the house and daydream till the afternoon. Thinking about the times that we had when this was all that we knew. When this song was still new, when this all was still new. We could play.
Okay, that countdown.
On
Wasn't
pause.
a countdown, but I haven't paused, but they're
Okay.
still in a pause.
All right. Okay, and we are into game. It appears it's sinking issues. It appears that capsizing boat is going to have more sinking issues than we have today, but we're going to power on through it regardless. Welcome. Thank you so much for bearing with us. We are on Fish Markets for this first game between Stush and the Worst Flanks EU in game number 1 of their best of 3 set here in the week 1 qualifiers. And we have a bit of an opportunity to talk about talent because we're in a game pause.
Yeah, the Yin going with Ferguson and say into a roam. Morale boost first. If her ultimate up isn't up within the first 2 minutes, then I don't know, man. She's gonna charge that so quickly off the roam. He's so big, you can't really miss that 5th shot. Game unpause in here. Everything else seems pretty standard. Although Genos grip, I'm not sure if he's gonna stay with that, but I mean he might do. I'm not sure if he would or not because I mean 3 of the 5 team members on blue aren't even affected if it's a cripple or not. You know, Inara, Victor, and Strix can't actually get out of it, but
unless you pair it, possibly pairing with the with the Raum or something, just to easily confirm that kill and allow Raum to just completely free fire onto whoever is unlucky enough to be caught by the Void Grip Genos. But Victor already being pressured out here as the Worst Flanks are going to pull off quite an impressive flank rather. Over on the right hand side, they already get the pick they're looking for. The Strix has fallen. Cairo's Victor has to back away. The Talus looking for the target. Both DPSs fall. Traded for the Genos. Workman doing his best to stay on this point. Currently 57% here, but the Vivian now free firing from the Inara's own high ground to take down the front line. And here we go. Worst Flanks EU able to get off to a strong start.
yeah, surprisingly pulling out a really nice flank there onto the Strix, killing him straight off the bat. Ron getting in the nice zone as he can with his F, he can cover huge leaps of the map, so he doesn't actually get out, I think. No, he doesn't. 2 picks, going back into the objective. They managed to get a touch here. This might be the turnaround they needed to get the point.
Really important picks here. There was a as you say, the double pick. Inara jumping forward, trying to get through. It's not going to get there in time. Heartbreak for Stush GG. The kill does come through on the Furia, but it's not going to be enough. Inara just wants to be a little quicker in order to make that one work. But, encouraging signs for Stush GG. It's unfortunate that happened, but I guess we've all been in that situation before in our games anyway. So Worst Flanks are going to be starting this one off on offense. Stush GG back off here. And I feel to me like Stush's comp is a lot more suited on the defense.
Yeah, I mean, they do have a lot more sustain with the Ying and the Grover. Only the Genos and the Fury on the other team, they do have 2 supports, but it's just that a roam. He's only got his dash, and like I said, the Grover counters that, so they can't really sit on the objective and contest the Inara. They have to go for these flanks like we just saw them do. And they did pull it off quite well, so...
Yeah, of course, it's a very positive start to this match. Here comes the Ron, going to use the ultimate, finding 3 picks on the high ground. The Strix, the Grover, and the Inara. Ultimate's flying out from Worst Flanks EU. They want to find something. Doomblood gets the pick onto Raken's Talus. And all of a sudden, that was a lot to invest in that pick, and it goes the wrong way. Cairo taking down the Raum as well. Disaster for the Worst Flanks. And Stush find a lifeline here on this defense. Traded back onto Kernsey.
Yeah, what you saw there is how powerful an early game Ying ultimate is. She just countered their entire of Worst Flanks play there with the ultimates they wanted to commit. Because that healing is just so strong early game. Once we see Court Rises come in, that might not happen again, but we'll have to see what happens. Worst Flanks coming in with 3 kills here, so they are going to be able to push it up a bit. Victor might go downhill, though I do think he actually wins a sustain duel with a Raum because of the lifesteal.
Yeah.
So
you can see here the scores are going towards the Raum because the Talus here, of course, it's always unfortunate where someone interrupts your very honourable 1 versus 1 duel. I find here the Raum is just so far up, trying to start the spawn campaign. Grover at half HP. Going over to our Kersey on the Strix, but 22 seconds left. There is a trade Grover for the Talus as the OG on the Raum looking to find more picks here, but of course, Stush are completely split up. The Ying is too far away. Workman can't survive on that point without the Ying, who will eventually go down. Brilliant work by the Worst Flanks EU to get a nice split on the team and completely dominate that map. Correct pincer movement.
Yeah, you can see that the Worst Flanks EU are really going to win the game early here, because as soon as those resiliences come online, another pause here so I have opportunity to talk about it. But as soon as the resiliences come up, they haven't invested into any yet, although we might see some as they probably have a few leftover credits. The Genos grip, that talent, does fall off quite a lot. So all the double healing, so all the sustain from them.
Yeah.
Haven's come up. A lot of their team, well, their entire team is actually Haven direct damage. So I think Stush have a better late game than Worst Flanks do. So Worst Flanks, they kind of need to win this quickly, 4-0, 3-1, 3-2, you know? They want to get this game over with before everything comes online for Stush.
Yeah, and also I think a good word here is, we're looking at fights that can end, ultimates that can end team fights as well, especially in the later games. So looking at that Inara ult, it's going to be another game pause here so I can actually elaborate more on my point here. The Inara ultimate, the Seismic Crash, and also the Barrage as well. These are game-winning ultimates that Stush have available to them. And of course, we saw the power of the Illusory Rift as the initial raw stun came in. But I'm just looking at the Worst Flanks composition. The In Flames is probably their most impactful ult they have. Aside from that, the Talus ult is going to be good for singling out a target. Vivian, the drones, quite selfish ultimates here. So, Stush in the later stages of this game are going to find a lot more out of this composition. Worst Flanks need to clean this up quickly. OG already looking for a flank. Going to drop into his turn as well with the In Flames proc as well. Through time and space finds the Grover. Absolute domination going through by the Worst Flanks EU. I don't know why these guys are called the Worst Flanks EU. They're finding so much success here. That is a full team wipe in the blink of an eye.
You can see the Inara there. She was on the point. She was giving calls. Ron flanking behind. Before she know it, everyone's dead. Victor committing an ultimate here. I don't know what targets he can actually lock onto here. It doesn't look like he's going to get any picks. Talent's here. Oh, he doesn't have enough time.
So just blinks back straight away. And this is what we talked about the Talus. He needs to go in. He needs to find those picks. He has got his ultimate available to lock someone down. Workman moving up towards the point. Whirlwind will keep the Inara alive. Talus ult is committed. Worst Flanks do capture the objective once again. But, and Stush are finding these picks, but it's about 45 seconds too late, I'm afraid, guys. 3-0 now to the Worst Flanks.
Yeah, Stush finding these picks a bit too late. A nice Talus ultimate there to actually, it locks them in place mid-air, a bit like Genos Void Grip, so they couldn't, even if they had a chance to get to the point, they just couldn't because they were locked in place in mid-air. I don't think they could have touched the point anyway, but it was a good plan. A re-engage here, everyone coming back from the side of Worst Flanks EU. They don't really have very many ultimates to commit, none at all, so I think Stush can mount a good defense.
Yeah, but a pick onto the Ying, though, is going to really silence that, as Talus finds a great pick. It is traded for the Genos, but, both supports fall. It's just a double kill. Another team wipe at the hands of the Worst Flanks EU. Just as soon as the support falls, to Stush crumble. Great focus fire as well by Worst Flanks EU. They're calling the targets, and those targets are dying immediately.
Yeah, really good practice, actually, is picking Genos Grip and then just calling the target. You always want to focus the person you've gripped, because obviously the whole point of going with that grip is that you kill the person you've gripped. It just turns it instantly into a 4v5. Getting a pick onto a Rom here, so a lot of point pressure is kind of gone from Worst Flanks EU. Well, that's really not what their composition is about. I think they don't really care about sustaining the objective. They just want to come in, kill everyone, and push the objective whilst the respawn times are going through.
I mean, I think you can have all the point pressure in the world, but, if you're not actually on that points, then who exactly are you pressuring anyway? So, yeah, and this is what Worst Flanks have done so well, is they're finding these very clean team wipes, and they're getting so much value off of them as well, and Stush finding the picks after the fact, lending testament to the strength of their composition. But again, what is mattering is who's getting the kills. OG once again going for another dive into the backline. He's going to look for the Strix. Stun lands onto 2. The Grover goes down as a trade. Both supports have fallen already. Cairo managed to get the Rawn. Talus investing yours as well. Looking for a pick onto the Strix. Bobs him over the wall. We'll take him out for good measure. Stush lose all 5 members for the 3rd time in the last few minutes. 7 seconds left on this point. This looks like curtains.
Yeah, it's just the ultimate combinations from Worst Thanks to You that are just kind of killing Stush here. The Enlightenment into the Rom ult, into the Janus ult, into the Vivian ult just does so much damage. It's kind of like, what you're going to do? You can't do much against that. You get stunned, you get hit for 2,400 through the 3 time space from the Janus. It's very difficult to actually, like, just don't get hit by it. But I mean, it's not that easy, really.
I mean, yeah, no, just don't let your health bar fall to 0 out of your max health bar. You know, it's just really easy like that. Anyway, yeah, going out to that game into the post-game analysis, very well played by the Worst Flanks EU. Again, guys, I think you might be selling yourself a little bit too short here. You know, those are some pretty good flanks that you were finding on the initial fighters on Fish Market. Able to take down the Strix, able to take down the Victor, the team wipe. And the second point as well, beautifully orchestrated as well. And Stush just didn't really know what to do.
Yeah, like I said, it was very early game composition that they had. The grip from the Genos. I mean, you think of it as a meme, but I mean, if you've got enough burst damage on your team to take out whoever you grip, and I mean whoever, if you grip that Inari, you're going to want to have enough damage to kill her. And I mean, it did work. It definitely worked. I'm not sure about the value over the Luminary, but I mean, in this game, it definitely you can see its value. The healing numbers from Stush GG are actually a lot more, as you was expected, really. Genos doesn't really... You kind of pick Genos for the Luminary, or in this case, the grip.
Yeah, I think we also did see there was a focusing lens as well, so you can understand why Doomblood was able to get 40k damage, you know, second highest on his team, especially when you're aiming at a ROM who's just going to stand still at you. But, you know, you look at the kills, Talus able 11, 4, and 10 slash lines, Vivian 11, 3, and 14 as well. The damage, Vivian, just as soon as the initial pick came through, as soon as Vivian's like, well, I'm pretty safe here to get all my damage down, you can just see what happens when you hold down the fire button and just pump out 78k damage. Yeah, very well played, again, by West Fangs. They really did play around that ROM really well.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think their name is just to kind of bait different bans in the in the pre-match selection. Like, oh, they're terrible at flank, so we won't even need to ban any of them. We can leave the Talus open, you know.
I mean, is ROM in the flank category, though, Gage?
No, not really, but he basically is. All off tanks, you know. Flanks, you know, they're basically the same thing. They're just tanks with flanks with a lot of health. The next game, though,
I take the point there. Okay, yeah. So, complete difference in styles of gameplay here, you know. But I think the worst thing is that you can take this composition and this style that they worked so well in game number 1 and transfer it into the second game here on Ice Mines. We saw what happened in that first set between ID and FLM. What happens when you get that initial point fight win, and how quickly this game can snowball out of control as long as you're able to keep the stagger, keep the conga line going all the way to the spawn room. So on the side of Stush, Gage, do you feel that what adaptation do they need to make here going into game number 2?
I think it's very hard to win with a backline composition with very little mobility against a team with a ROM, with a Talus, with a Furia and a Talus and a Genos. Sorry, they've got a lot of mobility. They can kind of like walk around you in the time it takes you to walk like 10 meters. They can go anywhere on the map, and you just have to kind of sit there. You don't really have, like, Victor can move around a lot, but Inara, Strix, Ying, Grover, they can't really travel that far. They kind of needed to shut down the ROM there. They needed to kind of focus fire a bit, and I think it would have gone a little bit better for them. But, I mean, they needed to get it to late game, which is quite difficult. If they had got it to late game, if they'd shut down that Genos grip, if they'd shut down that healing, Genos would have basically not even been, like, there was no reason for him to be there. If they had cauterizers up and resilience up, like, he doesn't bring anything apart from that ultimate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, he's very much just an ult sync, to be honest, as well. You know, if he's not actually giving anything of value to these team fights, it's just, you know, free ult charge, you know, step right up. How much ult can you charge after shooting a ROM? Because he just gets his health bar back to keep on going. Anyway, so, you know, I would personally like to see Stush, you know, fight a little bit of fire with fire. You know, not go for the double support composition this time. Maybe go for triple DPS, or if they do want to run this double tank composition, maybe just go with the, you know, the double DPS and a flank as one of the DPS. You know, run as just a single support on, you know, maybe that Grover, the Ying as well. Doom did have a decent game on the Ying as well with the the Illusory Rift, a lot of power in those point fights. So I definitely think for Stush, they have a lot of ways to make up for it as well. And again, it's game one of a best of 3. There is still another opportunity here, but I think momentum is just going to be completely with the worst flanks EU here.
Yeah, I think these games, the first set especially, and the second set, the first games being 4 rows is very kind of mentally taxing to get 4 road. I mean, you can go after it, and if you've been a team for a long time, which I don't think Stush actually have, I don't think they've been together that long, as far as I'm aware. If you get 4 road and if you haven't got that team chemistry, you can't be like, oh well, we got 4 road, it happened, forget about it. It's kind of always there in the back of your mind. So hopefully they can overcome that for the next game. We are going to go into a pause to try and avoid all those sync-up issues we were having. So we'll be back in a few minutes, and with the next set, Stush GG still versus Worst Flanks EU on Ice Mines. We will be a few minutes.
We could play blank, blank, 182. Lay around the house and daydream till the afternoon. Thinking about the times that we had when this was all that we knew. When this song was still new, when this all was still new. We could play blank, blank, 182. Summertime nights that we had staring at the moon. Laughing at our own jokes, acting like they were new. We'd only watch cartoons, but love and life was our tune. Oh, that we can never go back to this. And as we grow, we'll look back and miss all it. Cause we'll leave this time, we'll leave this home, and find lives of our very own. But we can play blank, blank, 182. We can play blank, blank, 182. We could play blank, blank, 182. Summertime nights that we had staring at the moon. Laughing at our own jokes, acting like they were new. We'd only watch cartoons, but love and life is our tune.
We could play blink, blink, 182. Drive around our cars and pretend that we never grew. Sneak out of the house every night. We were young and confused. We never made curfew. There was too much to do. We could play blink, blink, 182. Chasing all our dreams with Red Bull and Mountain Dew. Hangover so bad we would sleep until the morning was through. Yet start again cause we knew that there was nothing to lose.
That we can never go back to this. And as we grow, we'll look back and miss all it. Cause we'll leave this time, we'll leave this home, and find lives of our very own. And we can play blank, blank, 182. We can play blank, blank, 182. We could play blank, blank, 182. Summertime nights that we had staring at the moon. Laughing at our own jokes, acting like they were new. We'd only watch cartoons, but love and life was our tune.
And welcome back to the coverage here of the Week 1 qualifiers for the GCSL Paladins North tournament. So, as I say, we've got Game 2 on the way up shortly. I'm going to be talking about the drafts as well for both of these teams. So, on the side of the Worst Flanks EU, when they're going to be coming up onto your stream. So, they have opted for the Makoa, the Khan, Ceres, a Genos, and a Tyra.
Yeah, pretty good pick. Ceres, I think, is actually I think she's going to be going for DPS. I think Genos is going to be the main healer because it's a pretty. I wouldn't say Ceres is a very meta pick, especially to play damage. She's more like lower elo for healing. But on Ice Mine, she can work if they don't have very much shielding on the other team. But in fact, they do. They have a Terminus on Ice Mines, which is, I don't know, that's pretty scary if you ask me.
Yes, Dan, that's a really good segue into the Stush composition, where they have opted for the Victor, Maldamba, Inara, Terminus, and the Drogos. This is a lot more of what I wanted to see here, going to a single support. The Maldamba, of course, always been a very solid support pick. Double support here with the Terminus and the Inara, and of course, Drogos and the Victor looking to carry these fights for the Stush GG lineup. I'm feeling a lot more confident about this draft. Right now for Ice Mines.
I am too. Although saying they have Term on Ice Mines, he is very strong. But Khan and Makoa, they can both cancel out his shield with the hook and the dash. And then that kind of Term's just gonna kind of be like a little bit of a sitting duck there. You can't
just gotta sorry, Gage.
Oh, you can't pick up Resilience to counter the Makoa hook, and Makoa can just hook you, do a 180, the Term's gonna be behind you, your whole team's gonna be able to shoot him in the back, you can shoot him in the front, he's gonna just die. Same with the Khan, he's going to be stunned behind you. I mean, if the Term plays well, if he doesn't go incredibly aggressive and he just kind of plays back and just with the Drogos combustible, I assume he's going combustible. Drogos can just kind of sit there and just fire around corners with the Terminus, just stopping the aggression onto him. I do like the draft from both.
Yeah, and also both compositions also have a way of just eliminating someone from the fight, albeit the Khan overpower is a little bit more safer than what it feels like a one-way ticket for the Dragon's Fury from that Drogos here. So as long as we just see the Khan hitting them overpowers, that is just eliminating someone straight from the fight. And you can imagine that pick is going to go possibly onto the Inara or the Victor as well. Just really easy targets that can't possibly get back onto the map, especially on Ice Mines with that just the stage and just the complete vista that surrounds that side of the map as well. So I know Tyra is interesting as well. I mean, it's a good answer against the Inara with the firebomb as well onto points.
Yeah, kind of taking a bit of pressure out from the Inara there. Khan's very good on this map, but kind of only for the point fight. On the rest of the fight, it's so long. And I mean, he can ultimate someone into the back of his team and they can all finish him off. But he doesn't do that much damage at range. His dash isn't very usable if you can't get close to people. So even if they do in that initial point fight, then I don't know, it's going to be hard for them to push if they don't cleanly wipe and get a really good zone up close where the Khan can be as effective, where the Makoa can reach his hook, where the Ceres' projectiles can't just be dodged. They don't have very much range on the side of worst flanks. Although Ceres doesn't have damage drop off, she does. No, they are projectiles. You can dodge them if you try hard enough.
Yeah, if you ever played a bullet hell game, that's basically what it's like to dodge those Ceres projectiles as well. But of course, Convergence as well, huge team fighting ultimate as well. This Ceres and this Genos combination could be particularly lethal, I find, as we, by the sound in my ear, I think we're going to be loading into game very soon.
Are we? Have we started the countdown yet?
No, I don't think we have, but I think we know it's on the way, so don't worry. We're going to ramble on a little bit more, but don't worry, we've not forgotten about the game here at all.
Okay, good 30 seconds until we get in.
Yeah, I feel like, it would be nice to have a T-minus 30 seconds, to launch or something like that. Okay, but the countdown is starting in my ear.
Okay, synced up.
Yep. I think we should be good, and it's going to start loading into game very shortly. So,
4, 3, 2.
You are 15 seconds, right?
Now go.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, so we're going to go.
Fine. Sorry, go on.
It's fine. Anyway, so first point fight on Ice Mines again. So we've had a preview of these compositions. Looking at the legendaries, it is the combustible Drogos for Kanzi. Going to try and find some picks here. Nice fire spit combo down the side house, looking for something. Sarah's got a bit of a flank as well, but so far neither team's really, lost a member yet. Hook lands onto Terminus, so this might start something here, but the Inara wall shuts that one down completely. Genos having to back away. Low health bars for the worst flank CU. So far, so good for Stush, but the flank Ceres takes down Kairo's Victor.
Yeah, no core tries online early game just to have that Ceres to heal her entire health bar with 1 Q. Victor can't really do much against that. Like, yeah, he's got his own life steal. Worst flank to you, they're kind of winning the fight pretty clearly. Tyra with a nice triple kill. Only one person, Genos, dying from worst flank to you side. And starting off with a nice zone.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to touch this. Drogos is going down already, almost. McCall can hit this one shot.
Just hit the shot. Hit the shot. Yo, G, hit the shot. Okay, he's not going to hit the shot. The reinforcements have arrived. That's unfortunate here. But of course, the half shot Makoa as well, able to drop that shield and just find it. Okay, I don't know how that shot hits, but you know what? We'll just go with it. Objective has been captured by the worst flanks. A double kill for this Makoa. McCuddles is here to play hook onto the turn. It's the classic, the hook 'em and cook 'em combo of the Makoa Tyra.
Yeah, I mean, that's really kind of where they're going to shine here. They're going to... Time can't escape with his dash if he's in a burn monster. There's nothing he can do. He's just going to sit and burn. The body block from the Makoa, the body block from the Tyre, and the small angles of Ice Mines. They do push up quite far here, although Stush are back, committing a few ultimates to try and pressure out worst flank CU here.
Yeah, so I say the zone is really good here. Khan completely making up for, as you said so eloquently in the build up to this game. Convergence was used, and it has been immune, so not going to find any value out of it. But two picks again, Tyra and the Makoa linking up once again. Hunter's Mark onto the Drogos. That is a 7 streak for this Tyra, who's just able to just free fire and throw down as many fire bombs as she wants.
Yeah, they're not really getting pressured that much here. I think Stush kind of go for the, like, there's two angles that they can come from really here. There's the top right and the top left. And you can actually contest the payload from both those sides. But they didn't do that. The Inar went onto the point and the Thomas went onto the top right, meaning the left side for Stush. The Tyra and the Makoa just walked through. They were just free. They could shoot everyone in the back. You saw them take the Drogos out. I would like to see them kind of abuse the map mechanics a little bit and take that high ground so they contest it and contest both sides. So that worst flanks can't really take that high ground above the Inara, above the Drogos. And you pick Drogos, really. He can fly. That's one of his main mechanics, isn't it?
Well, of course. I mean, he doesn't really like it when you call him a lizard, for example. But we can see here just the power of the worst flanks composition here. Only 1 kill on the side of Stush. It's gone to Workman on the Inara, which was at the end of the first point fight here. But Tyra is on 8 kills. The Makoa's got 4 as well. So Stush, with combat mechanic through time and space, seems Stush were practicing the char slide as they completely dodged that one. Big team fight ought to go down here. Ceres looking for a pick onto Terminus, and Khan, you know what, we'll just finish things off. Overpower at its finest. Dread Serpent committed by Stush to buy a bit of time, but the picks have already happened.
Yeah, Terminus can't reanimate if you throw him off the map, and I think that's what the Khan was really going for there. If they had gotten a pick onto the Terminus and he just revived, that's a lot of resources wasted. Makoa, probably a Molotov. They're committing them some ultimates to get back in here. I would have liked to see them combine the barrage with our ultimate, but they did actually get a kill in the end. So
yeah, they're going to get 2, actually. Yeah, Cairo on the Victor, able to get down the damage finally. Terminus hunting after this Ceres. He has a reanimate available as well. Of course, well, if you didn't use it in the initial point fights, the retake is there. Combat mechanic. Genos is going to use the Void Grip to try and stay alive a little bit longer. He's trying his best to stay. Convergence was used as well. He's not going to find a great CC immunity by Kernzy's Drogos, but he's straight down the middle, and Stush get the objective that they were looking for. The ults come out, but Stush will walk away with happy with that one.
Yeah, worst flanks he used. Ceres picking up a triple kill here. Not a quad. Stolen away by Tyra's Molotov, but they committed the ultimates anyway because they just wanted to start off on a really good defense. It's a very easy map to defend Ice Mines with proper positioning and utility usage. So if they can push up right into their spawn, it's another like 10-20 seconds that Stush have got to take, even if they win this initial fight, to get back to the payload and to even start pushing it.
Yeah, it's all about, you know, controlling that time management. You can see Terminus here able to get a flank route. Makoa is still on his horse, so able to spot this out. The half shell shield comes out as well. Barrage committed as well. There's a lot of ultimates. Kyra takes down the Tyra straight away, but it's a 2-for-1 trade as the Drogos and Victor both fall. It's Doom on the Terminus, wailing away on this Khan. Khan is just not going down. The Inara trying to keep him alive as well by trying to dish him with a bit of damage, but the days of Wrath of Stagalia and Inara are definitely in the history books for this one. And again, Westbank's able just to hold off on his defense.
Yeah, losing both a DPS early on in that fight was kind of the end of it really for Stush there. The Drogos and the Victor are actually the only ones that can really deal a lot of damage. It's not like an Inara or a Terminus can solo people that quickly. Damn, I mean, he's got stuns, but nothing really much happened. Going in for the second fight here with only a minute left. Makoa missing his hook, so that's a good opportunity to go and get a bit aggressive.
Yeah, there it is. The strike comes down from the sky, but, you know, hit scan takes down Drogos. Of course, a classic weakness of the Lizard as he flies around in the air. That's hit scanner just going to absolutely melt him. The Tyra remains alive. Sarah's still able to chip in with these heals as well as finding these picks, taking down Cairo. 28 seconds left here. It's going to be the Inara, the only one standing to try and do something here. But of course, going over the 600 HP, Firebomb committed by the Tyra as well. But she's lost her health bar. You know, this is one opportunity for Stush to have to go.
Yeah, they do finally get back to the objective. They get a nice kill onto the Tyra. Although, how far they're going to be able to push it off this is yet to be seen. They still have 4 people up. They get a pick onto the Drogos, traded by a pick onto the Ceres. But
you know, this is going to be. It's going to be. It's going to be a very difficult start here. A delayed team wipe, though, going the way of Stush. We saw that they were able to do something similar in that Fish Markets game here, and this is going to be a push all the way through overtime. This is such a huge ask for Stush. They're able to push up and hook landing, the hook 'em and cook 'em combination. Doomblood goes down. Will he reanimate? Maybe not, but Tyra is still finding shots with that grenade launch. You don't really think that Tyra is the most long-range champion, but them grenade shots hurt.
Yeah. You see, I'm glad the Terminus didn't reanimate there, because if they don't push this, as we see now, it's 1-3. And the chances of pushing from where the payload spawns to the enemy team spawn, all in overtime on ice mines, I mean, that's a pretty tough ask. I don't know if they were really feeling that. So a good thing that the Terminus did there, I think.
Yeah, just the ultimate. Yeah, this point fight, having all 10 ultimates available in this entire game. Stush, I'm looking at you guys. You can find that combination. You can find the seismic crash into the barrage, the Dread Serpent as well from Trex was taken. Could be really big here. It's not to say that Worst Thanks EU, don't have the worst ultimates in EU either. Convergence combining with the Ancient Rage, with the Through Time and Space. It'll be interesting to see if Genos opts to use it again to try and get an early dismount, or maybe just an early pick. They will decide to save it. Looks like there's a Through Time and Space. There's a beautiful combination. Takes down 2. Drogos loses his life. There's 3 picks for the side of the Worst Flanks EU. Beautiful ultimate combination. Doomblood roasted on an open fire. Will not reanimate again. Uphill battle once more.
Yeah, I see why he saved the reanimate there. There was no real way he could get back up from his team. But now, if they don't get back to the objective, it's just a bit of a wasted ultimate, really. The barrage is not going to be able to get any more than one hit. The barrage, in our ultimate, kind of combined a little bit early, and my Paladins has unfortunately crashed. So we're going to have to... I'm not sure.
Going to have to do some retroactive casting from the stream here, first of all. No, so
just go down before he touches the objective, or maybe not before. I'm not too sure. My Paladins just crashed. I'm bringing it back up as quickly as I can. I just have to apologize for this.
It's fine, it's fine anyway. But we look at the team fight that was able to happen there. Guernsey managing to find the picks, and Stush GG are able to push forward once more. West Banks have got just still using that Ancient Rage. It's going to be in the fight. There's a lot of picks coming through once again. It's quite difficult to retroactively cast something with the delay. I hope you can understand. But ultimately, it's a 1-for-1 trade. You guys can still see what's going on the stream, thankfully. It looks like Stush were able to find those picks when it mattered. It's currently 99% to 93% here on overtime. Ceres losing her life, ultimates, and a double kill for Guernsey as well. Stush finds the picks when it mattered, and they're able to capture this point. It's going to go to 2-3 here. How are we looking, Gage?
Well, my game's back up. I'm just trying to get back into the game right now. We'll speed up, try and catch up a little bit, so we can get a little bit of a non-delay casting.
Oh, dear me. But the important thing that's happened is, again, you guys in stream can see it. You know, Stush GG able to defy the odds. They were finding those picks. So Matter Kernsey able to actually get the damage down from his Drogos. And he's also already got the Dragon's Fury charged up as well for him. Currently right now, so I think we as the casters are starting to for our non-delayed stream.
Yeah, we're just having to speed through this a little bit, try and get back to where we were at.
Of course. So yeah, so we're gonna let Gage sync up with production.
No, I'll just speed it up and I'll try and... Not even on the third point fight yet. Unfortunately, it shows, you know, spectator mode isn't, you know, the least buggy thing. It crashes occasionally, it happens.
Play.
What time's it at?
Have a nice trip. Enemy double kill. Enemy triple
12:54.
It looks like.
Okay,
Yep. Okay.
yeah,
It looks
we're
like
a
we
little
are
bit-
back. We are back. Thank you so much for bearing with us with that one. Of course, an unfortunate game crash happening there. So, 25 seconds left on the clock here for Stush. They were pushed back for an initial fire. And again, it's just all happening outside this point fight house. You know, nice grenade onto the back line, taking Ceres down to half HP. Tara has to back away and pay the respect. Terminus starting to get some damage down again. Stush, that card feels like it just feels like an eternity away from them. Can they get a touch? Unfortunately not. So red team able to defend successfully. I'm going to go to
35, 34, 33, 32, 31.
Okay. I think we are about there.
I think this should be about good. 27, 26, 25. Okay, awesome. We're a little bit behind, but I mean, what can you do? You know, we can't sync it up very well. They did get halfway in that objective, so I mean, you've got to think if they did touch that, they got halfway the first time, all in overtime. So maybe they would have been able to do it again. We did a game pause here, so we can kind of collect ourselves after that unfortunate incident. Take a look at the kills that we kind of missed quite a few of them. It's kind of being completely led by the red team. 18 and 6 on that Tyra, 14 and 2 on the Ceres. Everyone on Stush is kind of, they're all going negative actually. Not many picks, although they have managed to capture the objective twice. So that does show that they're kind of trying to play a bit more of a objective game. You know, you can't win the game just by kills alone. You've got to actually touch that little blue circle in the middle of the map.
No, but the kills definitely do help out with making it a little bit easier, I'm sure. And of course, you know, Kernsey came up really big in that fight, which Stush was able to win and get the point as well. So, you know, working his way back towards it. But look at the items as well coming up here whilst we're still in the game pause. So it's coming up to another situation. So item wise, you know, we have the Master Riding. You know, it's if anyone's playing bingo, by the way, Master Riding bingo, you can just get an entire line straight down the side of Stush here, and also for red team, you know, for the worst flanks. Interesting, that one. It's unfortunate it didn't synchronize the resilience. I find, you know, it's slightly disappointing, but you can't have everything.
Yeah, you can't have everything, but Master Riding is a really key item on this map, I do feel. Stush are kind of invested into it a bit more heavily. There's like, what, 3 Master Ridings, but only 2 on the side of worst flanks here. So they're going to get to the objective a bit quicker. They're going to get into those positions they want a bit faster. Maybe get that combustible in earlier, you know, knock everyone off the horse, hit everyone with good 900 damage. That's why you pick up Master Riding on this map. That, and it's very long. It takes a very long time to get to the objective, so it's a very value item.
Yeah, and it feels like, you know, if you're able to get Master Riding online a lot earlier than the other team, you have that bit of a lifeline as well. Like, you're able to get back into the fight a bit quicker. You're able to, you know, delay a potential zone that could completely remove you from the points. But again, we're kind of back to exactly where we were the first time, really. You know, all all 10 ultimates are going to be available here, and we going to be seeing another combination again that Stush are able to find here. We're looking to Kanzi as well. He came up big in that fight, probably rescued the point for them as well.
Well, I'm kind of hoping Stush don't fall for the convergence into the through time and space again. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. I would like to see them not fall for it, but again, it's kind of difficult to avoid. Like, even if you see it coming, there's not really too much you can do about it. But I would like to see an Earthen Crash into a Barrage, maybe a Damba Fear into a Dragon Punch, just so the Drogos can get out after he gets that pick.
Yeah. And unfortunately, not sending him, trying to make that one-way ticket a little bit more luxurious, especially if the Drogos can survive that fight. So again, still in the game pause. We do apologize this one, folks. Thank you for bearing with us. So we spoke about late game, Gage, in the first point fight. Do you think it really applies very much to this game? Do you feel?
Well, honestly, not really, because you can't really counter a Tyra Molotov. The later the game and the more wreck you get, the more Makawa comes online. But you also can't counter a Terminus Siphon. You can't counter a Dragon Punch. You can counter a Damba Fear with Resilience, but the same can be said for a Ceres Convergence. We get an Unpause coming in here, so I think it's kind of equal, like, all across the board. Like, the characters get stronger, but so does the other team, so... Re-paused again.
Oh, we're being trolled here. We got another game pause as well, and I think we want to make it clear that we're talking about items here in terms of the counters. We've already talked about that Siphon can be stopped by the Makawa's hook, also the Commander's Grab as well. So and again, these are also just really impactful ultimates that never really lose their effectiveness. I guess Maldama's Dread Serpent with the Resilience, and you can see Resilience 2s, Resilience 1s coming up for the Worst Flanks EU as well. And also that Seismic Crash. So I think on the balance as a whole, I feel that the Worst Flanks are more prepared for this potentially final fight.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is with the fear, if you fear the Ceres, she's only got Resilience 1 right now, but if you fear her, when she's low, when she's about to go into that shuttle travel, that 1 second extra, even if she had Resilience 2, that extra second of her having to, repress that F, might be the difference between killing her and letting her get halfway back across the map again whilst invulnerable.
Again, we do find ourselves in a game pause here, so again, we do apologize. I want to place your bets to if we're going to have a 4th consecutive pause. Let us know in chat.
I don't think it's the Drogo's having some PC issues. I think he has crashed.
Yeah.
And you want to have the fair fight at the end. You don't want to go
of course.
2-3 and then have to play one man down. So
yeah, it's going to be a rather unfortunate there if that happens. Especially on, as we said, what could potentially be the last point fight here. So
yeah, hopefully Drogos can get his PC back up. Yeah, no.
Yeah. So how's your day been, Gage? Been pretty good?
My day's been alright, It's very hot over here in the UK.
It's boiling, Okay, in fact, it looks like the game, the guys heard us, It's like, we don't want to hear about Gage and TJ's day. We're going straight back into the action, which is what we want to see here. It's good to be back on Ice Mines, small talk and all that. Bit of dismount onto the Tyra and the Ballesteros as well. Through time space was committed, not going to find a pick. Dread Serpent as well. The Dragon's Fury finds the Khan, not able to get that overpower used. Convergence, not going to. Is only going to find the Anara by looks, but no one is going down. Makoa with the still has the Ancient Mage available on the high ground. He's completely flanked around, and now Blue Team is starting to be completely pressured. Looks like OG is looking for a very nice hook off the map. Doomblood on the term is going to go down here. The Worst Flanks EU just, great flank, by the way. I'm never going to overuse this joke at all. It's just completely pincering Stush as they weren't able to fight out of that pincer. The initial pick was great, but you can see here the zone's going to come through here.
Yeah, the initial pick was good, but, after that, it was just full field of red. It's going to be hard for them to touch the objective. Going for the combo with the Barrage actually gets a pick to the Khan, which is nice. Ancient Rage committed?
No.
Yeah.
They tried so hard. and they got so far.
Yeah.
But in the end, Inara just is not that quick enough to touch the points, I'm afraid. So, congratulations to West Flanks EU. They were going to take the sets 2-0. Commiserations, of course, is Stush GG, but they do have another opportunity to try and qualify for the closed league format in next week's qualifiers. And we look forward to seeing them back at it again because Stush, of course, we're going to sing the praises of the West Flanks EU in just a brief moment. But, Stush had some really good moments throughout that set.
Yeah, there were some very good moments. Actually managing to capture 2 points after going down 2-0 and coming back up a little bit, and didn't push any of them through. But I mean, that's just ice mines. You can't really push easily. We have seen it a lot today, actually. They did go 2-0 and they did go 4-0 up on ice mines earlier. But honestly, trust me, that map is pretty hard to push through after capturing the point.
Yeah, it does feel to me like Ice Mines is one of their maps where it's either a 4-0 or it'll go all the way and go the distance to a 4-3 situation. So we did have the outlier in that regard, going to 4-2. But again, commiserations to Stush. And of course, we saw in the Fish Market game as well, they were able to find the picks, and they were able to play the compositions well. But it just seems that on this day, on the day that it mattered, West Flanks EU came out, it's unfortunate.
Yeah, I think West Flanks just taking better map control. You saw the point fights we saw, not due to the crashes, they're actually winning due to the flanks pulled off by the Ceres in the first point fight and the Makoa in the very last point fight that decided the game. They're all just kind of crunched up and they just managed to get a flank on them, which is actually pretty hard to do on Ice Mine. So it's just kind of a question of map control, if you ask me. Although,
yeah, and I think also maybe communication as well on side of Stush. I mean, it is quite a panicky moment when you turn around and there's just a Makoa in your face. It's like, where has this Makoa come from? The Makoa was able to go through the side house, all the way around the side, up the stairs, past about 3 windows. I've just hit my blind. And was completely, not known about it. And, maybe a bit of panic sets in as well as you find that, the trap has been sprung. Stush GG weren't able to fight out that pincer, but of course, fair play to the people laying the trap in, themselves, really, the West Flanks EU. And of course, on that Ice Mines map, there was, that hiccupy moment when Kernsey was finally able to get those shots down, able to land the damage, and you can see what happens, the strength of the Stush composition. But the West Flanks EU, just the Tyra, Hookem, and Cookem combination. If it ain't broke, don't fix it,
Yeah, I think that was one of the things that actually really killed the Terminus. He can't really get out of that unless he, once you pick up the nimble and the resilience to kind of counteract the slow, then you have a chance of coming out of it. But I mean, if you get hooked into it and the Makoa's in front of you, you're kind of getting body blocked. You can't really maneuver in and around it. Well, good games from West Flanks EU. I think they played their comps really well. I'm looking forward to seeing Stush next week.
Yeah.
I've been a friend with Doom for quite a long time, but on to the next match, the final match of the evening. And actually, the show
one you've been all waiting for, match of the week. To anyone who has been a fan of Paladins or following the esports scene both recently and over the past couple of years, you're going to recognize a few names in the show match coming up. I can assure you of that one. Yoinkers versus Clown Fiesta will be coming up after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
We could play blank, blank, 182. Lay around the house and daydream till the afternoon. Thinking about the times that we had when this was all that we knew. When this song was still new, when this all was still new. We could play blank, blank, 182. Summertime nights that we had, staring at the moon. Laughing at our own jokes, acting like they were new. We'd only watch cartoons, but love and life was our tune. Oh, that we can never go back to this. And as we grow, we'll look back and miss our life. Cause we'll leave this time, we'll leave this home, and find lives of our very own. But we can play blank, blank, 182. But we can play blank, blank, 182. our tone.
We could play blink, blink, 182. Drive around our cars and pretend that we never grew. Sneak out of the house every night. We were young and confused. We never made curfew. There was too much to do. We could play blink, blink, 182. Chasing all our dreams with Red Bull and Mountain Dew. Hangover so bad we would sleep until the morning was through. Yet start again cause we knew that there was nothing to lose.
That we can never go back to this. And as we grow, we'll look back and miss our life. Cause we'll leave this town, we'll leave this home, and find our love our very own. But we can play blank, blank 182.
We could play blink, blink, 182. Summertime nights that we had staring at the moon, laughing at our own jokes, acting like they were new. We'd only watch cartoons, but loving life was our tune.
We could play blank, blank 182. Lay around the house and day drink till the afternoon, thinking about the times that we had when this was all that we knew. When this song was still new, when this all was still new. We could play blank, blank 182. Summertime nights that we had staring at the moon, laughing at our own jokes, acting like they were new. We'd only watch cartoons, but loving life was our tune. That we can never go back to this. And as we grow, we'll look back and miss our life. Cause we'll leave this town, we'll leave this home, and find our love our very own. But we can play blank, blank 182. We can play blank, blank 182. We could play blank, blank 182. Summertime nights that we had staring at the moon, laughing at our own jokes, acting like they were new. We'd only watch cartoons, but loving life is our tune.
We could play blink, blink, 182. Drive around our cars and pretend that we never grew. Sneak out of the house every night. We were young and confused. We never made curfew. There was too much to do. We could play blink, blink, 182. Chasing all our dreams with Red Bull and Mountain Dew. Hangover so bad we would sleep until the morning was through. Yet start again cause we knew that there was nothing to lose.
That we can never go back to this. And as we grow, we'll look back and miss our life. Cause we'll leave this town, we'll leave this home, and find our love our very own. But we can play blank, blank 182. We can play blank, could play blank, blank 182. Lay around the house and daydream till the afternoon. Thinking about the times that we had when this was all that we knew. When this song was still new, when this all was still new. We could play blank, blank 182.
Welcome back to the show match here, the matchup of the week here at the Paladins GCSL qualifying week 1 broadcast. Sports TJ DJ and Gage the Viking over on that side. So one thing for sure that we said in the preview to before we went into the pause break, if you guys have been following Paladins esports, you talk about the top tiers, then I think you're going to recognize a few of the names as we've got Yoinkers versus Clown Fiesta for our match of the week here. So Gage, you can't really get more hype than this one, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit surprised to see them in this community tournament, fighting over a few crystals. But, I mean, it's up to them at the end of the day. They wanted to play. And, I mean, to be honest, I think Clown are going to win because they have more check marks. More check marks equals more damage.
Check marks OP.
Yeah, for sure. But we're going to be hopping over to the draft here in a second, so I can talk you through the first map, which is going to be Serpent Beach.
Yeah, of course. So here we are. Yoinkers versus Clown Fiesta. Serpent Beach is the map. Yoinkers draft. They've gone for the Maldamba, the Ruckus, Vivian, Maeve, and a Grover, banning away Knessa and Genos in the ban. What's going on for Clown Fiesta?
Well, they've picked up the Roam, the Buck, the Ceres, and the Androxus, and they banned away the Io and the Inara. Not surprising, really.
Another IO ban, and of course we are going to say the names as well. On the side of Yoinkers, Fruz, Lagi, Otev, Scarpy, and Tao. Clown Fiesta, K Cruncy, Alex, Bolka, Excentra, and Ninu. So, we've got current PPC players, world champions, MSI champions, We have it all for this one, in the show match, and this is going to be an absolute blast for us to the cast, I believe.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game. I feel as though it's going to be very interesting. Teams that are higher level play a lot differently to like tier 2, tier 3 teams.
Mm-hmm.
Top tier teams like this, they have a very different way of playing the game, which is very obvious in the draft picks and stuff like that. Honestly,
yeah,
I'm not too sure which draft I prefer. We see the Worm come through again. And I don't know, seeing that last game with Rome, I'm kind of feeling the Rome. He was doing well in that other game. If he can be pulled off to the much effectiveness in this game, which I'm sure he can, because Kakrunchy's playing him, he knows how to play the game. It's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, so I do, want to bring up as well. I think Gage makes a really good point there. Like the very upper tiers, and I think you can't really get much upper tier than this at this point, unless we were at HRX casting the World Championship finals. Oh, wouldn't that be a dream? But we're going to see them working around the ROM here, and I feel that they are going to rely on just the experience and the mechanical prowess of their players to pull off, the Book and the Androxus. Again, if this composition falls behind, not really got much to offer in terms of battling out here, because saying that Yoinkers have got point pressure issues themselves with only the solo tank Ruckus.
Okay, so hopping over to this game in a second.
Yeah, so the game has been loaded up, but of course, we've spoken about Clown Fiesta's team lineup. Let's talk about Yoinkers, because there are some players that we have recognized, and it's great to see them once again. Talking to you, Fruz and Lagi, great to have you guys back. You're seeing here the Maldama, the Maeve, and the Vivian, the Grover. Double support to keep this Ruckus alive. And again, it's going to rely primarily on, Vivian free firing, also to Otev on the Maeve to win this 1v1 or this, 1v2 fight against the Book and the Androxus. Both teams starting out. Going to go for the right side high grounds. Zentra on the Strix, already finding some shots onto the backline. Grover, of course, healing up. And there it is, the Rom straight into the backline. This is when Yoinkers need to turn around and get the Rom to die. Good beam onto the Vivian. Forces her out. And there's only going to be first blood. Alex falls in a 1v1 to the Maeve to kick things off. But no one's actually gone towards that point, though. There's only just now starting to get a little bit of cap as Tar comes through, taking down both Bolka and Excentra. The Mave very low. Ninu on the book, looking for the pit. Will find it. Rom is the only one left here. The support coming through. Trades for both teams. It is just an absolute kill fiesta for Clown Fiesta, as they're the ones who actually are standing on the point at the end of it.
Yeah, it was a very extended fight. People died and then people came back and then some more people died. Ruckus actually goes down here really early, so they're going to have a hard time.
They had such a great start to that fight as well. You know, the double kill. Alex going down to Otev's Mave. Oh, big ultimate from Crunchy, taking down the Maldamba and the Grover. No supports, no sustain. And this is where Clown Fiesta's team composition starts to dominate as the staggers come through. There is a touch by the Ruckus, but it's just not long for this world. Alex getting the fitting blow off that one. Objective captured to Clown Fiesta.
Yeah, a bit kind of a last-ditch attempt there from the Mave. She got the touch, but I mean, the team just wasn't really there behind it. Everyone kind of dying. Clown Fiesta starting with a nice push. Andrew on the high ground. The Shucks can't get there, but the Buck and the Rom, they can just dash around. The Buck can get on top of it quite easily. The high ground on this map is really important. And we see Yoinkers actually trying to contest it from the hands of Clown. They actually do kind of start. They've claimed it back. It is now theirs.
Another pick onto Alex. Hexafire is going to be used as well towards the fight. It's going to take on the Raum, so it does get a bit of value out of it. And the Yoinkers are able to sit up. You know, Grover's going to be really strong on this initial defense. The Vivian as well, able to just sit on the back, sit on that bridge, and on the high ground control and just get so much damage down. It's really interesting to see both teams actually able to get onto that high ground. Normally it's one team which will just have such a clear advantage over the other when you think about Serpent Beach here. So, good to see.
Yeah, the thing with the Grover is deep roots coming into the meta. It's quite hard to die to get some knife root. Both teams committing some ultimates here, fighting over this high ground. As we said, it's really important on this map. Maeve trying to juke it out a little bit over here with the Androxus, kind of pushing each other back. Andrew was really hunting for this kill. Nice
what a beam! What a beam by Bolka! Wow.
And
whether or not that was intentional, we don't know. But damn, did it look good? There was a pick from a tower on Excentra with the Maldamba and Grover fall once again. Yoinkers lose their sustain. They lose what is keeping that Ruckus alive. Maybe it's going to do so much to stall on this point, but Clown Fiesta do what they do best, and they will go 2-0 up here in game 1 on Serpent Beach.
Yeah, we saw the Fury there just kind of pushing the payload. Like, we say the high ground is important, but Yoinkers there, they were just like trying to contest it and ignoring the objective a little bit. The Fury got it like really close before. I think it was a Damba that turned around and kind of said, "Hey guys, the objective's about to be pushed in. Like, this high ground's good and all, but if they get to push it in, then it's like it's not used to us really." They go to the next fight, so they actually kind of turn around, but they kind of turn around and disrupt their positioning a little bit, and then they just fall. Objective goes in. Next point fight, though, the ultimates we see coming up are kind of none. We've got a Midnight from Maeve, and that's it.
Yeah. Of course, Clown Fiesta did burn a few ultimates just to break through that bridge choke point as well. So both teams, aside from that Midnight, are going to be relatively even. Hexafire has gone back up. Okay, Gruncy looking for something on the back end. He runs forward. Midnight has been popped as well. Rom will back away, has to respect the damage. Here comes the Ruckus as a Hexafire. It's got Rom's name on it. They're trying to burn each other down, but that's why it's an ultimate, I'm afraid. The Hexafire out DPS's Gruncy, but fights elsewhere. The Ruckus and the Grover. Maldamba falls again in these fights. You know, Clown Fiesta just finding the picks when, Yoinkers, for the past few fights, I've been able to get the initial pick. It's normally onto the Raum, it's onto Alex and the Androxus, but Clown Fiesta are just turning these fights around somehow.
Yeah, I think that's because of the amount of focus fire you actually have to put on a Raum. You see there, they commit a Ruckus ultimate just to take him down, and the Damba healing kind of pocketing him. That's a lot of focus fire that you have to actually put onto him. It just allows the rest of Clown Fiesta to kind of do what they want. They're not really pressured by much. You've got a lot of focus over there on this 8,000 HP Raum. And they just kind of kill everyone else. It's just kind of what happens, really. Maeve going down here. They get a nice touch. 60% doesn't go into overtime, but...
No. I mean, it's not looking good here. I don't think for the retake, the touch is going to be a little bit too late to really mean much. You can see here 93%. Ruckus is only at the bridge. Clown Fiesta, once again, are going to secure that objective very cleanly here. with the fights. And you know what? This is definitely living up to matchup of the week here. As you can see, just so many kills. Neither team are really scared about using their ultimates. You know, their ult is a fourth ability at this point. Let's just use it when it's off cooldown. Another trade. Scarpy will take down a Rawn, but loses his life to Excentra Strix.
Yeah, again,
as well.
It's just this fight over the high ground. The Dambat actually goes down there. Rook is committing ultimate in what 2v4 goes down. I mean, I don't know. They're just kind of pushing this up for free again. They're getting it really close. And they're not even contesting the high ground now. They had a bit of a breather to get to the high ground, but they kind of got past that choke point. So it's not really have it.
It feel like maybe a little bit of desperation here. You know, just trying to maybe back off Clown Fiesta just to, you know, take a few seconds off the respawns. Otek going for the kill onto Excentra in the backline. The Cursed Arm is going to be used by Alex in response. The pick did come through, but Maeve's nowhere near the point. Whirlwind will be committed here to try and keep everyone alive, but they're still falling. Lagi, Fruz, and Scarpy all fall. Clown Fiesta take Serpent Beach.
Yeah, honestly,
Wow.
that was over a lot faster than I expected it to be honest. I expected it to be a bit more of argy-bargy on the high ground. Was kind of, there was a lot, but maybe too much, actually, to be honest. They were kind of more paying attention to the high ground on that map than the actual payload itself. It was just kind of rolling on in. They just, especially that first push through, a little bit less on the second, but, you know, what can you do? 4-0, go on to the next game.
It did feel, you know, that, you know, Clown Fiesta just recognized that this as now is the map that they need to control here. You know, that's why there's so much fighting over that high ground. And, you know, it's whoever the support duty to just push the car. And of course, Fury is only happy to oblige in reality here. It looks like we're going to be bringing up the post-game screen here so we get a little bit look into the end game stats for teams. As you can see, you know, tick marks do more damage, as it turns out. But, you know, one thing that does stick out to me is that the Ruckus, you know, got so much damage done, but I feel that was just mainly into the Rawn.
I mean, he did ult the Rawn twice, right? That's like 8,000 damage just from his ultimate on that Rawn, you know? And Ruckus, it's not as if he doesn't do damage. He is a very strong character, especially on maps like that where vertical mobility is kind of one of the things you look for. Maps like that, and, you know, Splitstone he's very good on. He's not bad. It's just that there's certain maps he doesn't work on, and it is quite difficult to play if you're not up there, you know. If you're not a really good Ruckus player, then you're not going to have that much of an impact on the fight. But, I mean, obviously, Toa is quite a good Ruckus player, you know. He kind of knows what he's doing, but I think it was just a bit of, I don't know, maybe a bit of a team communication issues. I'm not sure. The payload just kind of got a bit too far without them really noticing. By the time they did notice, it was already in, you know, over before you even realised what was happening.
Yeah, and you know, fair play to Clown Fiesta as well. They just locked down the supports in most of their fights. You saw both Scarpy and Fruz falling near enough instantly at the start of most fights, and you know that's not a go signal. Then I don't know what is. Honestly, this Ruckus is just, you know, he does get a fair amount of damage down, but when he's not got any support, when he's not got anyone backing him up, he will crumble. He is, after all, got a very large hitbox as well, which is just, you know, an ult charge magnet outside of Clown Fiesta. Clinical by them, but of course, a lot of skirmishing as well, which we were expecting as well. So really nicely done by Clown Fiesta to take 1-4-0. We are going to go towards game number 2. Which, I mean, if you guys thought Serpent Beach was an interesting map, well, something different, we're going over to Brightmarsh for the next game.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can definitely see a turnaround. You know, they both are very good teams. I mean, if you look at the names, you probably recognize Clown Fiesta's names a bit more, but I mean, it's not as if the other team's bad. They are both very good. They both have opportunities to win this game, so looking forward to that.
Yeah.
We are going to go into a bit of a break, like TJ said, to sync everything up. We shouldn't be too long. Awesome. We'll hop right into that now then.
Playing.
We We could play blank, blank, 182. Lay around the house and daydream till the afternoon. Thinking about the times that we had when this was all that we knew. When this song was still new, when this all was still new. We could play blank, blank, 182. Summertime nights that we had staring at the moon. Laughing at our own jokes, acting like they were new. We'd only watch cartoons, but love and life is our tune. Oh, oh, that we can never go back to this. And as we grow, we'll look back and miss our life. Cause we'll leave this time, we'll leave this home, and find lives of our very own. But we can play blank, blank, 182. We can play blank, blank, 182. We could play blank, blank, 182. Summertime nights that we had staring at the moon. Laughing at our own jokes, acting like they were new. We'd only watch cartoons, but love and life is our tune.
We could play blink, blink, 182. Drive around our cars and pretend that we never grew. Sneak out of the house every night. We were young and confused. We never made curfew. There was too much to do. We could play blink, blink, 182. Chasing all our dreams with Red Bull and Mountain Dew. Hangover so bad we would sleep until the morning was through. Yet start again cause we knew that there was nothing to lose.
That we can never go back to this. And as we grow, we'll look back and miss our life. Cause we'll leave this time, we'll leave this home, and find lives of our very own. But we can play blank, blank.
Welcome back. The show match of the week 1 qualifiers here with the GCSL Paladins North Tournament. Clown Fiesta versus Yoinkers. Clown Fiesta taking a very dominant start to this best of 3 series and closing out Serpent Beach with a 4-0 after a lot of argy-bargy, as Gage fabulously called it, But anyway, game number 2 coming up is going to be on Brightmarsh here. So Gage, Serpent Beach, a lot of control over the high ground, and going to a relatively flat map with the Brightmarsh. What are you expecting for this?
Yeah, I mean, I do like Brightmarsh. Brightmarsh, it still has high ground, right, around the point, and being able to get back up to your spawn on a defense is a really good thing, or even be able to get to the enemy spawn is a good thing. But I mean, on this map, blasters are really good. There's really good tanks on this map. If you have point pressure on the point, you can just capture it. Everyone else be fighting in the houses. They can just do whatever they want. You've got an arrow sat on the point, so you can wall off if they try and touch, And I mean, if they let an arrow through, if they let an arrow through, then I don't know, it might be a bit different, but it could also be a 4-0 again, you never know. It's a very small map. It could be 7 minutes, it could be 6 minutes,
I mean, this if we saw skirmishing on Serpent Beach, then damn, we're going to see a lot of fighting on Brightmarsh. I'm really looking forward to that as well. But I think we are going to go into the drafts for this one. So once again, Clown Fiesta versus Yoinkers. Game 2 is on Brightmarsh with Clown Fiesta 1 game up in their best of 3 set. Going to the draft, so Yoinkers will be going for the Genos, Ash, Cassie, Buck, and Willow. With Clown Fiesta taking the Grover, Furia, Maeve, Inara, and the Moji.
We are actually unaware of the bans for this map. There was a bit of technical issues there, but I mean, I assume that Io was banned because Io being so strong as she is right now, I mean, she would have 100% been picked if she was let through.
Yeah, and Moji as well. Second appearance ever in GCSL, and they've had them both in the first week. That's just absolutely fantastic. And we played by Alex there. Bit of a change from his Androxus to go for the more grounded Moji. Did you know Moji can turn people into biscuits, Gage?
In actual fact, I did. I think it just so happens to be an E, but Moji is actually seeing a lot more high play and higher elo and ranked and stuff, because people have discovered this card which gives a 50% extra healing when below 50% health. Along with lifesteal on marked targets, she can be just unkillable early game. There's not much you can really do to counter her. And I mean, Moji being able to turn people into a biscuit does actually counter the assert dominance from Ash. So I'm expecting to see some nice biscuitifying from that Moji onto an Ash
Biscuit
that has
techers.
assert dominance.
Going to be seeing some great biscuit techers here. Looks like we're going to be. Game is loading up in the background, so just a few more moments before we load in. As Clown Fiesta are on match point for this one, so I'm looking forward to a number of matchups. It's going to be good to see Cassie playing on, being played by the Lagi. Fru's back on a Genos. This feels like going back a little bit towards. Go back to the time when season 3 of MLL, Fru just with the Luminary boost onto Lagi and just watching heads getting clicked here. But of course, quite a stalwart opposition in their hands with Clown Fiesta going up against them. And of course, we talked about the strength of that Anara. Let's see how Clown Fiesta will operate this one.
Yeah, I'm expecting a lot more pressure to be applied by Yoinkers in this game. Because, Clown have the objective. They've got an Inara, they've got a Grover. They can sit on the point with the Fury as well. The Maeve can dive. Moji's very good with the bee hopping, but they're actually electing not to go for the point here at all at the start. They're just taking that house control, so they're going down early.
Yeah, so the fight going on here, and with the Moji falling straight the way here, sorry, I was getting a little bit confused there, but Scarpy taking a lot of damage, having to back away from the fight here. Just once again more trader kills, and this is just not something we've seen today. It's it's normally just quick kills, free kills, back away instantly. Someone's on the point. It's only 30-9 here with Yoinkers on blue team here. Lagi able to get a good shot onto Alex. Exentra falls as well on the Anara pick. Yeah. And this is going to signal for Yoinkers to take control here.
They're starting to set up a zone here. They really want to take control of the whole map because, it's quite hard to contest houses against Emoji. She's got so much damage and so much health. They do kind of have to concede that there. So, whilst they're getting a pick onto Ninu, so, Maeve is one of the champions that you'd expect to be touching the point with those double dashes and prowl that she can do. Another pick onto Emoji, so it's looking good here for Yoinker. This isn't going to be
Yoinker's find 4 here. If the Maeve had just been on death time it's a little bit longer, we're looking at a complete team wipe here. Well played to Yoinkers. They turn this one around completely and will take the first objective right here. So starts in a bit of a zone as well. So Willow in the Fae Flight looking to get some of the AoE damage down. There's no Drogus in this one. Ash has to back out here. Seismic Crash committed as well. Assert dominance off the underside to get a stun onto Alex. Oh, that's going to feel bad. Great play there. So Lagi's also a little bit caught out here, but damage has already been done.
Yeah, there's no counter to the assert dominance if you haven't even managed to charge the biscuit up yet. She hasn't really had that much of an opportunity. She's been pressured out really well by the Cassie, the Buck, the Willow. Genos boosted Buck does a lot of damage, especially Cassie and Willow. She's kind of been having a tough time getting to people to even charge the ultimate.
Yeah, can we just bring the fact that I think Tao is, I think I heard the audio cue there, unstoppable spree right now. Currently on a 10 elim streak, and yeah, that is 8 kills in favor of the Ash. Wow, putting on an absolute show here. Xentra walls the Buck and the Ash inside. Well, I don't know who's trapped in there with who. The ceilings come down and get a bit of damage, but again, Yoinkers are more happy to fight this one. Exentra on the point, trying to force out Lagi. It does take a lot of damage. The Ash finally gets shut down by the Grover. Ninu takes down the Willow. Clown Fiesta looks to clean this one up as Lagi gets a kill back, though.
Yeah, Lagi just kind of surviving. He gets 2 picks. He's a bit of a stagger, but he's staggered out everyone else. Clown Fiesta do have a little bit of a longer respawn time due to the fact that they are the team defending, so I think everything should work out. They'll be able to get back in time. They'll be able to engage into a 5v5 fight. Maybe commit some ultimates here. Maybe Yoinkers want to go 2-0.
Yeah, it looks like going to be the assert dominance and the seismic crash committed, but a stun in mid-air denies the assert dominance before it can land. Fruit has to back away, taken out by Alex. Scarpy taking down Ninu as well. There's just kills going everywhere. Double kill for Alex, responded by 2 more kills on the side of Yoinkers. Scarpy losing his life to Exentra. Exentra goes down as well. Moji and Maeve against the world as this Anara Sorry, no, not Inara against the Book and the Genos. Successful defense, taking down. Wow. Okay,
Yeah,
that I did not see that one happening. Not gonna lie.
Everyone from Clown was kind of dead, and then Moji just comes back, pours like 3,000 damage into the Ash, says goodbye. I'll see you next point fight. I've got a biscuit up. You don't have a cert dominance up. I'm going to eat someone. Ultimates into this next point fight, though, there are 2 down on each team. And I mean, honestly, they're all quite impactful.
I don't know. I feel like in this fight, I would much rather go in with the Seismic Crash and a Whirlwinds available to them than having an Assert Dominance or a Faith Light, at least. Because the Assert Dominance is only the really impactful team fight ult potentially here. But of course, we're 1-1 on Bright Marsh going into the second point fight. Xentra straight to the point and throw up that impasse to just take himself out of the course rise and heal up a little bit. 30%. Yonkers will have to turn towards that point at some point. There's the Midnight Lagi picked out. The beam was beautiful. Another stun, another pick. Nino able to get some more damage down. The Ash falls to Alex on the Moji. 75%. Yonkers, this one is falling away from you.
Yeah, they were switching up their idea a bit. They realised that they weren't actually going to be contested if they went for houses, so they just said, we're going to go for the point. We're just going to put the Inara on there with the Fury and the Grover. Just out sustain you, let the Moji just kill everything on the right side. Because there's so much damage, it's really hard to do anything against that. I mean, they've captured the point, though, here. But Yonkers are kind of pushing up. They want to get a nice zone on. They want to kind of start this defense in their favour.
Yeah, looking here, a bit of control over the left-hand side gardens. Nino does take a lot of damage with the double dash. Asher tries to get away. Nice wall by Xentra, removing the front line. And again, started the game so well with 8 kills, just not having that effect anymore. The Whirlwind comes down just to keep Clan Fiesta ticking, keep them happy. But Lagi was going to remove Grover from that as soon as the ultimate ended.
Yeah, I mean, we see with these top-tier teams, they already have Court 3 online, so that Whirlwind's going to be kind of severely downgraded from what you would expect, really, in the second point fight of a game. Assert Dominance being committed, actually get some stuns over onto the right side. Moji trying to clean that up. You can see the health bars just dropping.
Yeah, Lagi is completely out of the fight here. Xentra finishing him off as well. Alex hunting on the Moji as well. Really making this pick work. I mean, Gage, I'm seeing the biscuit meter has reached 100%. Someone's been turned into a biscuit at some point.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't actually managed to catch it in the action, so I'm pretty upset. But at some point, we must catch it in the action, Moji turning someone into a biscuit is something you just can't miss. The Inara is pushed really far up, and they do manage to there's trades going either way. It's really hard to keep up with. 2 for 1 for Clown here, but going for another pick onto the Buck. Everyone's just dying, it seems.
Yeah, there's a lot of deaths, a lot of trading, as you say, but the important thing to keep track of is that cart moving. 5 seconds. The cart has not stopped moving for the entirety of this fight, no matter how many trades come through. The Furia has been keeping the cart pushing, just pushing the shopping trolley, straight up the path. Lagi takes a lot of damage, has to back into spawn. Nino on the Mave, he's going to be void gripped, may potentially go down here, but he's going to stay alive. The Whirlwind keeps him up. Scarpy will finish off the kill, but that's a successful push for Clown Fiesta, and they go 3-1 game point here. Set point, if you will.
Yeah, coming in a few ultimates there. They've still got the Midnight and the Biscuit, and they'll have a Assert Dominance up. Not Assert Dominance, sorry, Seismic Crash, although they will probably have Assert Dominance up sometime during this point fight. Yonkers coming in with 5 ultimates. I don't know. They definitely have a chance of winning this. If they use ultimates correctly, come back mechanic correctly, get a nice zone.
Of course, and it's important to bring up here. The Yonkers were, they captured the first point. They near team wiped Clown Fiesta really early on as well. They can do it. It is available to them, but we're going to see which is the mechanical prowess is going to start bringing up here. So we have a point fight coming across. Clown Fiesta on set point here. One more cap for the red team, and this will be game over. And they will advance in the tournament. 6%, 9%. Inara is already on point through time and space was committed as well. but no one's really gone down yet. Alex sees a pick potential onto the book, but has to back away. Ash is in the background, but there goes the book. Ninu cleans that one up well. Lagi very low, picked up by an Ash from Grover from left side. No one saw that one coming. Alex taken down. More kills going the way, though, of the Clown Fiesta, because Willow and Genos both removed from the fight. Inara has been on this point the entire time. Seismic Crash. Going to find Sun onto Ash, but, Shoulder Bash will be blocked as well by the Mother's Grace, removing the Ash from the fight completely. Clown Fiesta in complete control. Lagi's gone down as well. You're going to have to rely on Buck and Willow for the touch. Not enough. We did hear the biscuit go off. Clown Fiesta will take this game and take the set.
Yeah, we were a little bit teased there. We heard it was about to hit the book. She was about to eat it, but I mean, it was just a little bit too. If only the Nard stepped off the point for a second, but no, obviously. The win comes over any eating people with biscuits, unfortunately for us. And yeah,
we can
2-0. I mean, what do you think about that?
Close my notebook here. Well, Clown Fiesta. I mean, what else can you say about that? Bit of a shaky start. Let's not deny that one. Clown Fiesta got wiped early on, allowing Yoinkers to capture that first point. Some really nice plays by Lagi as well, especially in the trade. Just what's standing out to me is when Lagi was caught out inside one of the laboratory houses. Was staggered but took down 2 kills. So, just the mechanical skill from both teams was phenomenal. Of course, Tau on the Ash as well, going on an 8 kill streak before finally being shut down. So, positives for everyone. But I feel that, as soon as Alex got into his groove, started finding them picks, all of a sudden the Clown Fiesta just, took it in their stride and they just ran it down for a 4-1 victory.
Yeah, you can see Clown were really adapting to the play that Yoinkers were trying to make. As he said, Ash there got on an 8 streak at the start of the game. And on that final point fight, she was on 9 kills. So she'd only had 1 kill in the entire rest of the game. So I think they were I think Clown were adapting really well and kind of shutting them down, making sure to not let them play how they wanted to play, not let them get the kills they wanted to. And they just win. They just captured the point. That's why Inara is so good. She just stood on the point. They had 87% by the time they even turned around. She can just sit there, no matter how much damage. That's why she's the best point tank in this meta at the moment. And I mean,
it doesn't matter how many games of Paladins I cast. You can't leave the Inara on the point. Zentra has just, hit some really nice impasses as well. Looking at the scoreboard here towards the end. So what's standing out? Of course, 8 killing streak at the start, and Ash ending with only 10 kills as well. The damage coming through. Lagi doing a fair amount of damage, but it's 9 kills for Ninu, 9 on Alex. Even Currency's getting involved with the Grover. 8, 5, and 20 here, doing a lot of damage. The healing coming up between the Grover and the Furia, just too much really for this composition to really contest with as the game went on later.
Yeah, the Moji pick actually got 9, 10, and 7 with pretty small amount of damage. She wasn't really. I don't think Alex was really feeling it. Maybe he hasn't played Moji as much. I'm not too sure. Maybe. I think he was just getting pressured out a lot. I think the Cassie and the Willow and the Buck were just trying to say, no, we don't want to deal with Moji. We don't want to deal with that 1,000 lifesteal HP game when they hit one. When they hit me when I've got a magic mark on. They just didn't want to deal with that on a map like Bright Marsh. Fair play to them. They managed to keep Moji away from them on a map as small as Bright Marsh. It's a very good game.
Yeah. And I think as well is that, Moji doesn't exactly have the smallest hitbox in the world. So, it's just a really easy shot for Lagi or for Scarpy on the Willow to find damage onto the Moji as well, hence the 10 deaths. But, he's still doing a lot for his team, getting the picks when it mattered. But of course, commiserations to Yoinkers, a very spirited fight against the Clown Fiesta. But of course, living up to the hype, they advance on in the tournament. And that is going to be it for today's games. We've broadcasted 3 sets. ID versus FLM. FLM winning that set 2-0. Stush GG versus the Worst Flanks EU. 2-0 to the Worst Flanks EU. And then finally, the matchup of the week, Clown Fiesta versus Yoinkers. Clown Fiesta winning that one 2-0 as well. So that is going to pretty much wrap it up for today's broadcast. But of course, we will announce the winner of this week. Unfortunately, we could not spectate the finals. There was a forfeit, which was really unfortunate, but we can announce the winning team from week 1 was Clown Fiesta. So they have locked in their spot in the in the closed league format, and they will not need to play again in the qualifiers. But of course, I'm expecting to see Yoinkers right back at it, and they put up a really good case for why they deserve to be in the closed league format.
Yeah, I think Yoinkers, I mean, if we don't see any more teams, then Yoinkers is probably going to take next week. They are a very strong team. They do put up a really good fight against Clown Fiesta. And I mean, Clown being such a strong team, I mean, putting up a fight against them is, let's say it's pretty difficult, to be honest, if you're not.
It's just respect to you,
Yeah.
Yeah,
we'll have to find out next week. Clown Fiesta taking week 1 straight through to the finals in 10 weeks, 11 weeks, I think, 10 weeks. I think we've got 10 weeks.
I think so any and all information about that will be found in the Discord server. Of course, remember, we are all on Twitter as well. You can find us there. But of course, the best place to find all information about the qualifiers and for upcoming streams and to chat with the community is going to be in that Discord server. I want to give a huge thank you not only to Gage for being a fantastic co-caster, to Derp as well, who's been in the background pulling his hair out, but we managed to end this stream really strong as well, the Puppet Master himself. Thank you, Derp. And of course, to all the teams and for you guys as well for putting up with all the issues. We look forward to seeing you again next time. Hope you have a great rest of your evening and take care.
Yeah. Catch you next week.
We could play blank, blank, 182. Lay around the house and daydream till the afternoon. Thinking about the times that we had when this was all that we knew. When this song was still new, when this all was still new. We could play blank, blank, 182. Summertime nights that we had staring at the moon. Laughing at our own jokes.